Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another live stream. Hello. Let us know if you can hear me down below in the comments. I just want to make sure that we are all clear. Let us know. And if you guys see me looking down, it's because I'm checking the chat on my phone while talking to you guys here. But please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. I want to make sure that everything is working smoothly. All right. Just trying to make sure you guys can see me. I'm still trying to get used to this live chat setup. But let's see here. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Oh, you know what? I know how to find it. Okay. Oh. All right. Just a quick minute, guys. Hold on 1 second. Come on. Oh man, I don't know how exactly. Okay, think. Live visibility, have a schedule, public. All right. All right, guys. Hello. Welcome. Just had to iron out a few small kinks as we still get used to this live setup. But please let me know if you guys can hear me in the comment section. I want to make sure that you guys hear me well. Everything is good. Okay, great. Okay, let us know. Okay, all right, you guys are coming through. Hello, welcome. So excited to have you guys here tonight. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, where are you guys coming from? Where are you right now across the globe? Let us know. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you. I promise the next time we're gonna have the whole thing ironed out very well. So there will be no technical difficulties. Yes, hello, Bermuda. All right. Texas, H-Town, A. All right, Dallas, Delaware, South Carolina, California, Pennsylvania, Houston. Okay, Houston is in the house. All right. I'm in Houston as well. I'm not a native of Houston. I'm actually a native of New York. But I love Houston. I love it. It's really hot. Thankfully, we are inside during the daytime. Hello, Trinidad. Okay. Georgia, Minnesota, Mississippi, Alabama, Maryland, Houston, Pennsylvania. Hello, Hawaii. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming to yet another job fair. This is our second job fair of the year. Woo! Gotta add some, spice and pizzazz to that. This is our second virtual job fair. Thank you so much for joining. I'm so excited to have you guys here with me today. If you don't know me, I'm Boss from Home, and I will be your host for this event. I'm so excited about it. Today, our goal here is basically to connect you guys who are job seekers with job opportunities, and also provide you with valuable resources to help you with your job search and get you connected with experts who can give you tools, knowledge, and understanding of how to navigate today's challenging and very competitive job market. I know it's really discouraging. It can be, it can often leave you just wanting to give up and quit and just give up your entire search. But I want to provide you with hope through these job fairs. I would say there is a yes out there for you, and we are here to prepare you well for that yes, okay? So we have an exciting lineup of speakers and exciting activities as well. You guys know we come in with the games, right? But anyway, before we dive into any of the activities, I just want to give you guys an overview of what to expect today. So basically, the mission of these virtual job fairs is to create a supportive and informative environment where you guys, job seekers, can learn, network, and find job opportunities. So we will be conducting these virtual job fairs every month as much as I can. And then we will also have a panel of experts who you might notice here on YouTube or other places or other platforms. We'll be doing resume reviews, providing information about job openings, and so much more. I mean, the list is continuing as the ideas come in and as you guys provide feedback as well. So yes, we're gonna have a lot of fun, games. Sometimes we'll have prizes. Today we have another free grab bag, but you can't just take the goodies and run, all right? You have to stick around till the very end. And then I will make it live on the website so that you guys can grab your free grab bag. All virtual products, services, everything that you need in order to stay encouraged and to have resources for you in your job search as you professionally develop on your own, right? So yes, so this is going to be awesome. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here once again. I want you guys I know you guys are very classy, right? But we have some people that come from other places. So I want to just remind everyone watching to keep things classy and respectful. All grown and schmexy people here. So let's keep it that way. And yeah, so the gist of these virtual job fairs is basically to provide community to you guys, support, let you guys know that you're not alone as you're looking for job opportunities in today's tough world. And also to provide you with access to these amazing experts that I had the privilege of getting to know. I want to bring them here on this platform so that you guys don't only see me here talking, all right? I don't know everything, and I admit that, all right? There are other people who are killing it, and they have amazing resources, tools for you guys. So I definitely want to connect you guys with them. I love conducting events. I've always done this. So it's just really excited to bring this here on YouTube. And I also want to provide a community and an environment of support and togetherness, right? Because so many times in business, even with you guys, I'm sure you know, on the job, there might be that co-worker who looks at you a little side-eyed because you're giving your best and they are not very happy about that. It's you against them, or in their mind, it's them against you. How can I do better than you to outshine you if you do better than me? somehow I'm getting small here and I need to do something to get myself seen, or there's that environment, that hostile environment of competitiveness. It's a toxic competitiveness. What's the word I'm looking for? It's just not healthy, right? So I want to bring together the remote community here on YouTube and on other platforms to bring them here as well. All right. So I just want you guys to know this platform right here is not about competition, me against you, you against them. We are bringing everyone together, and hopefully, by the help of God, I'll be able to connect with so many more people who are doing the same thing here on YouTube as well. All for you guys, all right? So the goal is always to provide you guys with the help and the support that you guys need. And we can do that through community, right? All right, so let's just turn the music differently because, all right, this is one of our favorite parts. Well, my favorite part. The icebreaker game, okay? Just to get you guys, warmed up, we are going to do an icebreaker game, much like the one that we did the last time. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys were here, but we did an icebreaker game, and this was basically kind of to warm you guys up, get you excited, get you talking in the chat. So let's do it right now, all right? Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Okay, there we go. So we are going to get started with a fun icebreaker game called Guess the Job, right? So this game is really, really easy. All you have to do is guess the job based on a series of emojis or pics. So there's going to be a combination, even some letters you might see here and there, just to give you guys a clue, all right? And let me tell you, the last time I let you guys off the hook because we had a lot of easy questions. I tried my best to do more and put a little bit more to stump you guys. So I'm hoping that I stumped you guys this time, all right? So, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? I just want to know if you guys are ready. Let me know if you're ready in the chat. All right. Okay, so now that we're ready, okay, let's guess the emojis. There are no prizes, okay? We're all winners here. We're just doing this for fun. Yeah. All right, so are you guys ready for the first one? Okay. All right, first one. Ready? So guess the job based on these 3 clues. I bet you guys, no. I'm gonna give you guys some time. Wall Street, that's funny. KC Street. Good guess, right? Wall Street. Come on, guys. I know you guys got this, all right? Last time you guys were coming through, all right? I know you have it this time. Okay. So the answer here is dentist. So the first person who guessed it is God's favor. Like, sis, are you kidding? Like, that was probably the hardest one. I couldn't get it when I saw it. And I got this off the internet. Good job. I really like the Wall Street. That's really funny. I mean, you look at the cave and then you see the ST, but the T in the middle just doesn't exactly go together with it. All right, so next one. You guys ready for it? Let's go. Guess the job based on these 3 clues in the white part. Ready, go. I cannot with you guys. I just can't. I cannot. You guys are annoying, all right? I'm trying so hard to stump you. Hey, Ashley. She's in the chat. Ooh, Ashley. You guys are great, okay? Mechanic. When I saw this, I was looking at it for a long time. Like, what in the world? What is that? You guys got it. It is a mechanic. Hello, cosmetic. That's a good one too. Control mechanic. Meteorologist. That's another good one too. All right, okay, we have a few more. All right, don't get happy yet. Don't get happy yet. Ready? Guess the job based on the part that's in the white shaded part. Ready, go. I can't. Listen. Okay, it's the police. It's police. It's police. It's police. Coal, ice. I didn't get that either. You guys are smarter than me, all right? I didn't get that either. Exactly. Y'all are smart because I'm not about to say what I thought. Yeah, the first thought that I had was not exactly, when I saw the poll, wait, what career path is this? It could not be what I'm thinking, right? All right, next one, ready? We have it in this next slide. Let me go ahead and make sure that the slide is not showing an answer. Okay. Let's go. Let me see you get this, okay? Let me see you get this. I want to see somebody get this one. Guess the job based on these two emojis. Let me see you get it. I don't see any answers. This one definitely stumped me, I have to say. I did not think of these by myself. I'm not going to lie. But let's see if you can get it. I don't see any answers. I don't see any answers. All right, are you guys ready for the answer? Because I don't see anyone. I'm going to give you just a few more minutes. I don't see any answers. I'm going to go ahead and sip my little tea. Remote worker. You know what? That's a good one. That is really good because you're not using the car, right? That's good, but that's not it. Come on, you can do this. Come on, guys. Come on. All right, so I'll give you guys a clue. So the first emoji. All right, somebody got it. You must have looked it up online. Anyways, so the first emoji is not stop like you might think. It's actually band. It symbolizes band. And then you have a car. So when you put the band and the car together, which career path is this? Not an Uber driver, that's also a good one too. But when you have the band sign with the car, bang car, right? All right, listen, you guys got this. We have just a few more to get into before we start with our speakers of the night. Yes, banker. Listen, now we know, right? Once you know, you just feel so silly that you didn't know, right? Okay, banker, here we go. All right, next one. Ready? Guess this one. I'm sure you guys will get it. But guess the job based on these three emojis. These three emojis, what is the job that we are trying to guess? For those of you who are just joining, we're starting with our icebreaker game. And this is like just to kind of warm us up and get us started, right? Okay, you know what? I had like a blank moment. I was like, what is this again? I completely forgot. You guys are right. It is a doctor. Puppeteer. Okay, you know what? That's a good one. That is a good one. Puppeteer. Yes. I like that thinking. That's definitely a possibility. All right, next one. Ready? Guess this. You guys would never guess it, okay? You won't guess it. You will not. There's no way. I'm going to give you guys some time. There's no way you're going to guess this one. Wow. Okay. Okay. I'm still accepting you guys' answers, but I'd like to listen. All right, we're done with this game because you guys are just too good. It is a lifeguard. I absolutely did not know this one either when I first tried it out. It's a lifeguard. You guys are great. You know, you guard with your heart. Your heart is like essential for life, right? I'm not even going to try to break that down, but yes, lifeguard. Okay, well, you guys are great. All right, listen, I thought I was going to stump you guys. I stumped myself. But you guys are great, and that was so much fun, wasn't it? Was it corny? Was it fun? Like, what do you guys think? Okay, well, so another favorite part of tonight's event, I'm going to introduce you guys, or reintroduce you, because you guys already know this person, but I'm going to introduce her and another speaker that we will be presenting today. So I'm excited to introduce our special guests for tonight's event. First, we have our highly requested Ashley Watkins Thomas. She is a seasoned job search coach and the driving force behind Right Step Resumes. I'll actually put that on the screen. I tried my best to make sure that you guys are put on game, okay? So she has over 20 years of experience as a corporate recruiter across different industries like banking, education, healthcare, nonprofit, and manufacturing. And Ashley has a deep understanding of what it takes to succeed in today's job market. You know, you guys, we all need some kind of understanding of how we can better ourselves in today's market. So she holds prestigious credentials as a nationally certified resume writer. I aspire, okay? I am currently aspiring to be just like her, and I'm not even kidding. So she's also a nationally certified online profile expert. She has also served on the board of National Resume Writers Association, and she has been recognized as one of JobScan's top 15 job search experts to follow, as well as named a part of the LinkedIn Top Voice in both 2019 and 2023. Her insights have been featured on different publications like the HuffPost, New York Times, and the Wall Street Journal. Ashley is well known for her ability to help emerging and experienced leaders secure more interviews and land six-figure salaries offered by Fortune 500 companies. So she has great expertise, award-winning resume writing skills, and strategic career advice. And we are so excited to have her here. So not only will we have Ashley Watkins Thomas, we'll have another Ashley. another Ashley, and she is Ashley Savvy. She's a dynamic business and tech entrepreneur. She has a passion for helping people to navigate this competitive job market. She also has a background that spans both corporate and entrepreneurial worlds, right? And Ashley has a unique perspective on what it takes to secure high-paying jobs and build a successful career. She is best known for her journey of landing a high-paying job within only 30 days, despite not having a degree. And she actually got started at a job making almost $19 per hour approximately. So her story is one of perseverance. A lot of you guys can relate. You might be where she was. She also has a story of how she used strategic thinking and leveraging the right opportunities at the right time. She's a mom and an entrepreneur, balancing the demands of a growing business while still continuing to advance her career in the tech industry. So she has an expertise in personal branding, networking, job search strategies, and it's empowered many to break through barriers and achieve their career goals. So her insights have made her a well sought after speaker and mentor, inspiring others to take control of their professional destiny. All right, so without further ado, okay. Oh my goodness, did I forget to show you guys? So Ashley Watkins Thomas, all right, just wanted to reintroduce you guys to the face, and also Ashley Savvy, all right? So yes, anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get our lady of the night, of the moment here. Hello, Ashley Thomas. How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me back.
We're so excited to have you back, okay? Based on the feedback from last time, we truly learned so much. Everyone was just amazed and blown away with the way that you were able to translate a lot of these technical terms to the everyday job seeker. And it was amazing. So everyone absolutely wanted you back, and I know I wanted you back. So thank you so much for being here tonight.
Yes, I had so much fun. Like, this is one of the most fun platforms that I've been on. Usually they're all stuffy, and you got to put on your suit and and everything. So I love it. The chat is amazing always.
Yes.
So I think that was the thing that I enjoyed the most was the interaction from your audience. So I love it. I'm happy to be back.
Yes, so excited to have you. All right, so yes. Yes, I'm going to leave it into your hands. I won't talk too much. I know last time I spoke a little bit about jobs and stuff, but I want to get straight into what you have to say and all that you have to offer. So Ashley will be sharing a little something. We'll also have a moment where we can provide questions. I know you guys have lots of questions, so we will be conducting a Q&A session. And we will also be reviewing a few resumes. You guys sent in so many, it was really hard to choose. So we chose a few, and we will be providing thoughtful feedback here. And this is also helpful to those of you guys watching as well, just to know get some tips on how you can also improve your resume and even your cover letter, your documents. All right, so yes, you take it away, Ashley.
Yes, so I wanted to make sure that people understood, kind of what it looks like from a recruiter's point of view when the resume hits the ATS, because everybody's like, the ATS is going to reject me, it's going to kick me out, it's going to do all of these things. So I do want to add some truth to how that process actually works. In most of the systems that I've ever worked in, and I've worked in multiple applicant tracking systems, that's where you click apply and then your resume goes in never land, right? People are like, it's a black hole, nothing ever happens if I don't get it directly to a person. No, there's a recruiter like me on the other side reviewing all of those resumes. We do use AI. We do use different technology to help us review that information faster, but really it's just a sorter. The applicant tracking system is not something to be afraid of. It is the database that houses your resume. So there are some systems, there are thousands of different ATS. So if somebody is telling you that this resume is 100% ATS friendly, excuse me, or ATS compliant, right? There's no way for them to tell you that because the company actually sets how they want. They set those features of how the system will react to your information once it's received. So just know that. So simple is always going to be better. You can do different design elements. I incorporate design elements into resumes all the time, but I also know how applicant tracking systems work. So if you don't know what you're doing out there, keep it simple. Pretty does not get you a job. Okay. For one, your resume does not even get you a job. So your resume, the purpose of your resume is to actually get you an interview. Okay. So again, if people are selling you on the fact that, oh, I've got you I can create this resume and I can guarantee you a job. You can't guarantee anything you can't control. Okay. So though, there's a lot of scams going on. So I'm really, really happy to have this platform to so that we all can share information. I know Ashley's going to share some great information when she comes on as well, because there are people who are out here preying on the fact that people want to do better. So just be really, really careful about somebody making guarantees that just don't make sense. Listen to your gut. If it doesn't make sense, it probably is not true. But yes, there's no way to guarantee what your resume is going to do in a system because they're all different. And then there's actually no way to guarantee somebody a job when you are not one of the decision makers. Even then it's hard to guarantee because there's so many approvals and stuff. So just be careful with that. There are people who get results. I mean, I've gotten several clients to apply for jobs with resumes that I've created in 4 hours. Right. But I didn't guarantee them that was going to happen. There are certain things that we did in order for that to happen. But it could have very well taken a week, 2 weeks, or whatever. But whatever you are doing, if you're doing the right thing and it is working, keep doing that. This market is bonkers. Okay. So 9 times out of 10 is not you, but I'm going to show you some things that you could be doing better for your documents, because so many people are saying, I'm seeing it all up and down my timeline when it comes to LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, you definitely need to be there. So you can either find my business page at Right Step Resumes, or you can find my personal page, that's where I do all the talking and all the engaging mostly is on that personal page, which is Ashley J. Watkins. But if you just search Ashley Watkins Thomas, you'll find me. I think I may be the only Black Ashley Watkins, so you'll be able to find me pretty quick over there. But anywho, I'm seeing so many people say that, oh, I'm updating my resume for every job. I'm tailoring my resume, and nothing's happening. I'm not getting a job. And then I review the resume. I'm like, girl, you're not tailoring this resume. This is not targeted. This is not any of that. So, understanding what it means and what it is something that I definitely coach my clients on so that they can make better decisions. And so it can help them with their self-esteem, because getting rejected, I mean, that's not the move. I don't like it. It does something to my spirit. It takes the excitement out of the whole process of actually getting a job. Is exhausting. So I want to help make that time easier for you. So let's see here. So what are recruiters looking for when it comes to your resume? So when a resume crosses my desk, I'm looking at contact information. Y'all got to pay attention to typos in this area. This is an area that is often overlooked when it comes to typos, because how you going to spell your own name wrong? But you do. I can't tell you how many times I've been fast typing and type my name Ely when it's Ley, right? So, so think about that. If your phone number is not correct, how can I get in touch with you? So that could be a reason why you're not getting any callbacks. Your email address is wrong, or you have an email address that's no longer active. Your LinkedIn URL is not correct. So it's leading to somebody else's profile, or it's giving them that 404 message that the page cannot be found. So make sure that all of your contact information is correct no matter what. We got to be able to reach you in order to be able to offer you an interview or a job. Your job titles do matter, and job titles are not created equally across the board. So you may be called one thing at your current job, but I always ask my clients, what would your job be called anywhere else? So you may be called, I think of something random, like a brand. Okay, so like a branding guru, right? So they've created, like I see a lot of times, recruiting ninja or talent ninja. What is that? You're a recruiter anywhere else. You're a marketing manager anywhere else. You're a branding manager, whatever. So when you start to use these, inflated, type of titles, they don't translate. And so, and a lot of times there's a mismatch in what you are called and what you actually do, because they may hire you as an assistant, but you are running the show. You're managing people, you're doing all of your boss's work, you're doing, all of these things, and you're not giving yourself credit for those skills, right? So you have to make sure that your title that you're listing on your resume is matching the job that you actually do. So a way, like, people are like, well, I'm gonna that's a lie though. If they call and verify my employment, that means then, they're not going to give that title. They're going to give this other title. That's all fine and good. What you need to do is use a slash title. So you can put branding guru slash marketing manager, because I've got to be able to, you are writing your resume for a recruiter. You're writing the resume for the person who has to make a decision on whether to move you forward. So it is your job to make sure that your information is accurately translated. Right. So that's how you're going to help that person understand what it is that you truly do. Because think of the title chief of staff. Girl, what does that mean? There are so many things that you could be responsible for as that chief of staff, because you're basically running the show. But if it makes more sense to call yourself an operations manager anywhere else, and that's the type of job that you're targeting, use that. Dates, put the month and the year to the month and the year. Don't worry about gaps. None of that stuff. Don't worry about that for this particular purpose. You just need to make sure that your dates are there, because your dates are how I'm going to calculate how much experience you have. Now, because you need to meet the minimum qualification. So if you don't put your dates on there, I'm not going to be able to do the math and see how much experience you have. Now, if it leaves a gap, because you've put the month and the year, because 9 times out of 10, if you put the years only, the recruiter is going to ask you what month, what month? Because again, I've got to calculate that, because I have to make sure that I'm paying you accurately based on the amount of experience you have. And you using years only could be the difference between 2 years and 2 months. Because if it's December of 2019 to, say, so you put 2019 to 2020, right? So did you start in January of 2019 and then end in December of 2020, right? That's 2 years of experience. But if you just write it as 2019 to 2020, that's 1 year. So you can shortchange yourself, and you're not fooling anybody. You're not hiding gaps by doing that, because I'm going to ask you eventually, right? So just go ahead and do that. But then when you can explain that gap, so you can, in the place of a job, you can put a note at the top of your experience section. From this time to this time, I was laid off from this job, actively seeking employment. Keep it moving. This time to this time, caring for my family. Yeah, whatever. Just put a little explanation there, and that will cover the gap. Right now, the pandemic helped a lot of people with gaps. Because some of you were getting fired, which is okay. I don't feel like you fired, laid off, whatever. Every new job is a way for you to start over brand new, whatever it is you want to be, so don't worry about all of that stuff. A lot of times you're not getting these opportunities because your own energy about yourself is off. So when you come in there scaling, I don't know, I worked and I got laid off, I think, whatever. When you're not sure about what it is, your confidence is not in check. I'm turned off. I'm digging. I'm gonna get to the answer. I'm gonna find it, right? But if you just tell me with confidence, hey, I was laid off from this position. It took me a while to to find a job. Hey, I'm here. Let's go. You earn that spot if they invited you to the interview, if they invited you to the screen. So you really don't have anything to prove at that point. Just answer the questions with confidence. Keep it moving. But yeah, put those dates, duties, and accomplishments. I make sure that whatever you list. You shouldn't have just a laundry list of tasks. You want to list things that align with your job target, because you are showing that you have experience doing the thing that company wants you to do right now. You want to use storytelling elements. So if you got promoted, weave that into your story. Especially if you stayed in a position for just a couple months, then you moved into another position a couple months. If those were promotions, say that. If those were contract jobs, say that. Especially if they were short-term assignments, like 6 months, 3 months. I had a 10-month contract before. I had one that was from 6 to 9 months. So, you can put that time frame there, just in parentheses. You don't have to draw a lot of emphasis to it, but explain, what that is. Make sure that you're incorporating keywords, and then also metrics. So show numbers wherever you can. Metrics does not necessarily mean that you have to put a number, because sometimes it does not make sense to put a number, depending on what it is that you do for a living. education and certifications. If you've been to college, I don't care if you went to college day one and said, this is not for me. Put the college on your resume. You were in that. Yes, you were in that class that day. All right. You also in the place of your education, because don't go out getting these extra degrees just because you want to get this certain type of job unless it is absolutely required. You can get 9 times out of 10, you can get whatever job you want to, whether you have a degree or not. If you talk to the right people, if you tell your story in the right way, you have to, we hire people based on value, not necessarily based on credentials. Credentials help, to get you seen, but that's usually not the reason why we say, okay, yeah, we want that person, not because they got that amazing degree. No, it's because they have communicated to us with confidence the value that they will bring to the table, the problem that they will actually solve. So when it comes to the education, if you have college, make sure that you're listing the college name, the location, your degree of study. If you only, say you went 3 semesters, I went to one of my favorite universities, Alabama State University, for 3 semesters. So for the longest time, I put that I attended for 3 semesters. Sometimes you can calculate it by credit hours. I just said I was there, for what was that, a year and a half, or a year, whatever that ended up being. You can put that. You also can, in the place of your education, put whether it's a certification, whether it is training, put whatever knowledge base you got. Like I said, a training, if it was a workshop, if it was whatever, you can just put it. You don't have to necessarily say where you got it from. It was just that, you studied that. I just want you to show that you have some education in something. Okay. But make sure that you're putting, if you put the certification, you can put where you got it from, especially if it's like a project management certification or something, put that. You want to make sure that you're listing your skills, strengths, competencies, whatever you want to call that section. Limit it to about 15, but they need to align with the position that you're applying to. It's not everything that you have experience with, because I can actually do nails, but I'm not going to put that on my resume if I'm applying to, to a recruiting job. It doesn't make sense. Nobody cares about that. So make sure that whatever you list on your resume, it is there to help you get the job that you want. So always ask yourself, is this necessary to show my experience match for this type of position? If the answer is no, delete it. And then you may have several versions, but you shouldn't have to be rewriting your resume every time you apply for a job. If you're doing that, that means your resume is not targeted correctly. So tailoring is a very simple process where you're just going in and kind of plugging in a few skills and changing those words. Rewriting your resume every time you apply means that, for one, you have not identified your job target. So you're kind of all over the place. Oh, I can do project management. Oh, I can do accounting. Oh, I can do IT. Oh, I can do, I can do marketing. Just as disjointed as that sounded right there when I said that to you, that's how it looks when it comes across. So I'm going to review some of these resumes and then give what my feedback would be.
Yes.
Really quickly. And then I've got some other information for you. So here's one of the resumes here, and I'm gonna have to squeeze in, girl, to see this.
Oh, you know what? We can.
I think I can put it on full screen.
Maybe do that, or.
Nah, I got it on full screen for me. That's good. I switched
okay.
So I can see. Yeah, okay. These 44-year-old eyes were like, what? Okay. All right. So for this particular resume, so this is a 2-page resume. It's in the column style. I am one of those recruiters among many who do not enjoy column style resumes. And there's for several reasons. So for one, most of us read from the left side of the page over to the right side of the page and back and forth until we're done to the bottom. Well, if I do that with this type of resume, I'm having to skip from skills to summary, skills to experience, education to experience. I mean, so it's skipping. Well, just like that happens to the human reader, because remember, I'm scanning a bunch of resumes at a time and I could be looking at it on my phone. So a column style resume, it breaks your natural reading pattern. So they're hard for the recruiter to actually interpret. For me, they also scream entry level. So when I see these and somebody's been like a director or, or whatever, I'm like, well, why you got this entry level resume? Because that format is just very, it just comes across very entry level. So I would take this resume and use the style that is just one side. I'll show you what that looks like on on somebody else's resume as well. But structurally to this resume, they have all the right things here, but it just could be up leveled a bit. So we can see the contact information. We also can see that they used an AOL email address. So now I'm conflicted.
Oh.
It's a very young person who has this, or is it, but 9 times out of 10, this person is older because AOL, then, yes, AOL is over in the is in the box with vinyls and what was that doll I had? Rainbow Bright. All those dolls that
Oh,
we have the movie.
that, wow, I faintly remember that.
You don't remember Rainbow Bright? That means you're a baby girl if you don't remember Rainbow Bright. That would, yeah, strawberry shortcake, all of those. That's where AOL belongs for me. It's in the time capsule. So I would suggest that this person get an email address that is maybe Gmail, because Gmail is the gold standard for email. Anytime I see AOL, Yahoo, Hotmail, if I see an email that's associated with your cable provider, that's an older individual. And when I say older, that means somebody that is 37 or above, because even though 40 is the protected age group, when you start thinking about ageism, it actually starts between 35 and 37, where people start side-eyeing and be like, you old, whatever. When we know that we're not old, I mean, even our GYNs start, talking crazy once we start getting, to 35, right? So, you kind of think about it. Resumes are are the same way. So you don't want to date yourself by using an older email platform. Okay. So get rid of this AOL. The skills, okay, fine. But I'm seeing a lot more skills that are soft skills, and soft skills are things that you demonstrate. So like verbal and written communication. Okay, I can gauge that by talking to you on the phone. I can gauge that by reading your information. So you don't have to necessarily call that out. Administration and reporting, data entry, file and data retrieval systems, all of those are fine, but be careful in this section to make sure that you're not wasting space by listing keywords. You can incorporate keywords throughout your document, but I wouldn't make it, I wouldn't take up so much space in the skills section. Then there's high school. So there's a high school diploma listed here. And so I know that this person graduated high school in 2006. People were usually about 17, 18 when they graduated. And so now I can calculate how old you are because I know you graduated high school in 2006. So you want to remove your high school because especially if you have attended college, I know you have a high school diploma. So it's a no-brainer piece of information. You're wasting space by listing your high school on there, plus you're giving way to how old you are. But I'm surprised that somebody who graduated high school in 2006 has an AOL email address. So again, a lot of conflict in information. So so there's some college. So I do like that this person gave gave themselves credit for having college, because we do calculate that when it comes to your salary. So there's a difference between what I would pay somebody who has a high school diploma versus somebody who, has some college, especially if a degree is preferred for that position. So be careful there. Let's see. So there's the summary statement is not really that strong. The summary statement should have value in it. So it should be talking about saving money, making money, saving time, improving processes, those types of things, not just saying how much years of experience you have, because we have all worked with that person that has tons of years of experience and they don't do squat. So nothing. You ask them something, oh, I don't know, or whatever. So your years of experience, what I like to say, strength of service is not the same thing as length of service.
That's
okay.
True.
So, show your value, show what problems you solve. So basically the bullets on this resume are really task focused, meaning talking about the things that they do every day, the functions that they carry out, but there is no accomplishments here. So I'm not seeing anywhere again where they saved money, made money, improved processes, built relationships, created things. So so you always have to ask yourself, so what? Why would somebody care that I did this? Or what was the impact of me doing this? Because bullet number 2 under the first job, worked in a fast-paced, ever-changing environment. Girl, we all have. Mm-hmm. We've all done that. So what is the differentiator? What is something that's going to set you apart from somebody else? So especially being a chef, talk to me about the menu. What did you do? What did you
menu, right? I want to know the menu.
The menu to get more customers in the door. that's how you drive sales. What new menu items did you come up with? Talk to me about safety. How did you keep people safe? Girl, people are dying because
Mm.
your rating is in the 80s and the 70s. So, talk to me about the things that really, really matter. Poke your chest out. Tell me what's really happening. So those are the issues that I'm seeing with this resume, and those same things carry over into all the rest of the jobs. So I don't feel like I need to go into detail with every single thing. But those are the issues. Not seeing the value. The value is not there, and this resume is susceptible to ageism. All right.
I do see one comment
Yep.
on that they mentioned that they also see that she's using past tense. So I just wanted to address their comment.
Yeah, past tense is fine. You can use so any bullet is going to be an accomplishment, right? So accomplishment bullets are always past tense. And that's because even if you're continuing to do it every day, you've accomplished it in the past. So if you answered 150 calls and your goal was only to do 100, that's in the past tense because you did that yesterday, right? Even though you may continue to do it the next day. So your current job can have past tense language and present, because there are things that you are continuing to do, and then there are things that you have done. Everything else, as far as a bullet, so you should have the resume structure should be just a small snippet of maybe a line or two explaining the work that you do, and then your bullets are accomplishments. So that's the issue with this person's resume, is that everything is a bullet, but these bullets are not accomplishments, they are tasks. So that means that they have not structured their resume in the proper way. But yeah, past tense and present in your current job is completely fine. All right, so let's move to the next one. So this resume is in an oldie but goodie, format. Not, nothing too special or whatever, but really that doesn't matter. We've got the contact information here. I would like to see this person's name way bigger than that, because your name should be the biggest thing on the page. Because as I'm looking at it, I need to know whose information I'm reviewing. They do have a summary statement, but the resume has no title. So I don't know at first glance with this resume what this person is applying to. They said that they have a wealth of knowledge in customer service, administrative support, and data entry. But is that who you're presenting to me? Is that what you're saying that you're applying to? So the resume needs a title. So before you put summary, then I would put some sort of, put the title of the job that you're applying to, or the title of the job that you want. And then here they said they have a wealth of that experience. Okay, that's fine. You're talking to me about a lot of skills and stuff that you have, but again, there's no value here. So that summary statement should tell me who you are, what you do, how you add value. The fact that you have English and Spanish, amazing, because a lot of companies will pay premium for people who speak a language other than English, especially if it is Spanish. And then we're also seeing a lot of the more of the Asian languages being, and then also if you have any of the, say, Arabic languages, or and things are in that particular region, the Middle East, and whatever. I'm seeing a lot of requirements for that as well. So that's a plus. So this person is I don't know where they work in any of these jobs. There's no company. So I have that they're director of religious education, secretary, but I don't know where they work. They do have the dates and everything correctly, but you're wasting 3 lines with this information, and it's taking up extra space. So all of that information, so you can put the company name, location, date, and then the next line will be the job title. There, now you're taking up just two small lines. Again, every bullet is a task. There's no and then there's no bolding. So my eyes kind of don't know where to go, because everything it just goes together. So I would like to see some bolding, so that it can outline so I can separate the positions from each other. So there's spacing in between, but I like to see that information bolded. I also want to see the accomplishments. What was accomplished in each one of these jobs. The skills section, again, there's a lot of wasted space here, because every skill has its own line, when you could just use a comma to separate each one of the skills and then use them across maybe 3, 4 lines. Now you've got more room to tell the things that we actually want to know. I've got your the education. It's okay, but everything, again, it's on one line. So some of the things that should be on one line are not, and then the other things that probably shouldn't be on one line are. So it's just you have to think about the readability of the resume. So in the zoning administrative assistant position, I would like to see what was the benefit of you generating those reports. What were you helping leadership make decisions in doing that? Were you finding discrepancies? Were you preventing errors? I want to see successes like that. And then in the patient navigator, or the health navigator position, I would want to see, you said recommended service improvements. What service improvements did you recommend? And then what was the benefit of those? So what was the result? So use the PAR format when you're trying to decide how to organize your bullets. So talk about the problem or the situation that was happening, the action that you took, and then the result that you got from that. So PAR, PAR, or you can use CAR, which is the cause, the action, and the result, or you can use STAR, the situation, the task, action, result. Either way, they all mean the same thing. So you write out your accomplishment bullets using the PAR format. You talk about what was going on, what you did in that situation, and what happened. And then for the resume, you flip it to wrap. So you list your result first, and then the action that you took to solve that particular problem. Right. So it's very, very simple. Use PAR to get your situation just out of your head and on paper. Use wrap so that you can have a clear, concise bullet. All right.
Sorry about that. My little one barged into the room.
That's okay, girl. I've been fanning my dogs away. Yeah. All right. So moving along to the next resume. All right. So now we got some color. So
I'm excited.
Yeah. So I use color, and purple's my favorite color. I mean, I like to use color in all of my resumes. I rarely have a resume that I don't use any color unless it's specifically a client request. But most of them have color, and that is because you see how this color broke up the monotony of the black and white resumes that we had just looked at, right? So typically, if I do purple, I don't go so light as pastel all the time. I have written resumes that are, that are lighter, but it just depends on where they're applying to. So always know your audience before you decide what color you're going to incorporate and what kind of feel you want. Typically, I start with blue because that's generally acceptable across multiple industries. But I do like color because in color and shading, because it does break up the text. So you see how you can tell specifically what sections belong to what sections because this person has, taken the opportunity to separate things out using color and shading. I usually go a darker color so that it's easy to read, especially if I always have to check my resumes to make sure that they look okay, regardless of the device, the reader of the resume is viewing that information on, because a lot of times I review resumes on my phone. Let's see. So this person has a mixture of conversational language and resume language. You got to pick a lane. Either you're going to write a conversational resume or you're going to write one that is in, your standard resume terms. So meaning you don't write in complete sentences on your resume. So the subject line is always assumed. So if you could have started I know you did it as an executive assistant because you told me at the top of the resume that you are an executive assistant, right? So having as an executive assistant is wasting space. So you can start at provide, provide because the subject is I, right? So I provide thorough support to both executives and their teams. So using pronouns like their, my, our, showing possessive, those types of things, they're not necessary for for a resume. So sometimes though, it may make sense to do that because if you take the word away, if it doesn't make sense, go ahead and use it. So here, there makes sense. I'm not mad at it. It's not going to stop you from getting a job, but it does ease the way that the flow, so the flow needs to match, throughout the resume for consistency. So you said that you efficiently execute administrative duties and proactively manage calendars and coordinate travel arrangements. Okay, again, so what? So to do what? What's the reason for that? Is that you're you're streamlining the way that things get done? Are you organizing something and helping the person that you're scheduling for? Are they achieving a certain outcome? Because remember, you're trying to sell yourself to another person who needs an executive assistant. So what here is going to make me say, yes, you are the person that can do the job for me. You're not selling that for me. You're just telling me, tasks of what you do. I want to know what you accomplished. Same thing here. This resume is Bullet City. Everything is a bullet. Bullets are to draw attention to important information that is separated from, say, a description or whatever. If everything is a bullet, that means everything has emphasis. Everything cannot have an emphasis. It doesn't, it doesn't make sense. So a couple of these things, like you said, you run monthly background checks for patient safety audits and fulfill insurance requirements. Okay, so I would want to know, how are the patients being kept safe? What percentage, of safety did you get? What were the audit results? Did you have some, some incidents reported or findings, on those audits? So take it a step further. Always ask yourself for every single bullet, so what? If there is no so what, then you know that that's probably a task and explains the work that you were hired to do. So that's basically the feedback I have for this one. I'm not mad at really anything else, on this resume. I would like to see, though, in the knowledge areas, there's nothing but systems. Where are the keywords that are telling me the areas that you have strengths in? So if it's administrative support, if it is in calendar management, if it is in, it looks like executive support, right? So I want to know that you have experience in those things, because that's kind of what you're talking about throughout your resume. And then I also don't see an education section. So if you don't have high school, and remember, you're not going to list that, and you did not go to college, you got to get you some training. So a free way to get some training is if you go to LinkedIn. So if you have a premium account, you can access some of the free and low cost training there. But if you're not on LinkedIn at all yet, I need you to be on LinkedIn. But if you're not there, go to Allison.com. And I think Allison may be with one L. I can check it real quick.
Allison, okay.
Yeah, Allison.com. Let me look at Allison real quick. Yes, Allison with one L. So if you go to Allison.com, you can take a training for anything. Get the training on your resume. That's going to go in your education section. You got to have an education section.
Let me put that in the chat.
Yes, Allison.com, ALISON.com. Okay, you can get a lot of free training, certificates, diplomas, all types of things. There are plenty of free. You can actually sort by free. And find the courses that you want. And you can also search by category. So if you need an administrative support, project management, IT, whatever, you can find those trainings there.
ALISON.com.
Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. So for the next resume, this person combined their resume and their LinkedIn, and their resume, their cover letter and their resume together. Yes. That is not recommended. Because when I'm reading the document, the first page, that's their real estate. That is that prime territory, right? For you to sell yourself to me. So if you do that, I'm looking for your experience, right? But I don't get to that into the second page of your resume. So if the applicant tracking system is ranking you based on the keywords, and they're giving preference to keywords that appear on that first page, I'm not going to get that into your skills section on the second page of your resume. So never combine your cover letter and your resume together. They are two separate documents. So you should have a cover letter and then you should have a resume. They shouldn't be smushed together in one document. Okay. So as far as this cover letter, it's okay. I like to start the cover letter with the big, an opening paragraph that is going to grab attention, and they're going to tell the person where I found the opportunity. So this is here, it's okay, but I feel like you said the same thing over and over again. Like you can wipe out one of the sentences and not really impact the cover letter in a negative way. But structurally, I think it's fine. But I want a stronger opening, and to the cover letter. But this is a great start for someone who may not have been doing a whole lot of work, just yet. And that's kind of sort of what it appears to be here. But yeah, so moving on to the resume piece of it. This person described themselves as an experienced individual. All of us can say that we're experienced individuals. Your resume is supposed to be there for you to differentiate yourself, for you to show how you're the best person for the job. If you're just an experienced professional or experienced individual, what does that mean? So think of another way to describe the work that you do. And so saying, with the hands-on approach of working with individuals of diverse cultures and background, say that you're a hands-on whatever title. I also don't know what type of position this person is applying to. They got a purchasing assistant job, a behavioral health job, they've been a store manager. I don't know. I don't know who you are. You can't be all these things. You got to pick a lane. Again, this is where those slash titles would come in, because if as a behavioral tech, you also did a lot of purchasing, or you did some marketing, or you did whatever, focus on those things in the job. You don't delete the job altogether, but don't focus on those, on those tasks that I don't necessarily care about. But I need to be able to look at your resume right away and at least guesstimate what type of job you should be applying to. But right here, I can't really tell it, because you're talking about a bachelor's of HR management in your cover letter, and then I don't see any HR experience even mentioned when it comes to the resume. And then there's that date again. So there's 1992 to 1996. There is a chance that the person that is reviewing your resume was not born then. They weren't even born yet. So that person is going to automatically think that you're old. And I'm going to tell you why.
Oh boy. Oh, all right. I think we lost her, but she'll be right back. Yes. So what do you guys think about this? I just want to get some of your feedback there we go. Okay. Yes, Ashley.
All right. I don't know what happened.
Might have been the Wi-Fi, or
who knows. We're back though.
Yes, thank you. All right, so
let's grab my presentation there.
There we go. All right.
All right, so where were we on this one? Yeah, we were on this one. Okay, so let me make it bigger so I can see this. Okay, so so when I started recruiting, I was 22 years old. When I saw some people who had gone to school before I was born, automatically in my head that that person is old now. It didn't stop me, because I knew from my training and from my mentorship from coaching from my manager that I could make a decision based on that, but it did cross my mind. So you have to be careful when you're dating things on your resume. It is not necessary that you list the dates to your education, certifications, or things like that, right? So, and again, if you take it off of one, you want to take it off the other too, even if it's a newer degree. Now, if you got a degree and say, for instance, you're currently in it, you could just put, pending, or, or something like that, so you don't have to put the date there. But again, in the skills section, there's a bunch of soft skills here. There's no hardcore competencies for me to know, because remember, those skills are words that I'm going to use as a recruiter to search for somebody like you. So if I'm looking for somebody who's a purchasing assistant, I'm not searching for communication skills. I'm not searching for listening skills, because I'm going to assume that as a professional, you have all that stuff anyway. Right? You're going to demonstrate that to me. So you don't list things that are personality and attribute wise. You want to list those things that show the things that you have experience with or knowledge of. That's how you're going to determine whether or not it goes in that skills section. So that's that resume.
I noticed from the very beginning, because we know the resume is like the story of your career. So just from the beginning, it was blurry, because the summary talks about it. The person is able basically to develop relationships and with stakeholders involved in any company. So no one knows which company, which industry, so it already starts the confusion from the very top all the way down. So
yeah, because if I was looking for somebody in purchasing who is not talking to me about money, who is not talking to me about vendor relationships, who is not talking to me about products, who, I'm already skipping to the next person. You're also not talking to me about the systems that you have experience with, because as a purchasing person, I want you to have, experience with different softwares. I want you, I'm expecting that level of professionalism, because if your resume is not well written and not well put together, I'm going to assume that any report that you do for me is going to be the same way. That it's not going to be well written, it's not going to be put together. So I can make a lot of assumptions based on what your resume looks like. And people they base how much they pay you off of what your resume looks like. Because with a great resume, if it's all put together, you've got your accomplishments, you know your value, you can speak to that, information with ease. I already know, like, I gotta get it together. I gotta make sure that we come with our best. We gotta come with it. We can't play with this person because they are a hot item. They know what they're worth. We gotta come to them, with serious business. This person, I'm like, this is an hourly level position. I may come back to them if I don't have anybody else.
And that's unfortunate because they mentioned their experience. So also with that experience, you want to see more of the metrics that they attained in a lot of their job functions and stuff, but you don't see it. Exactly. You basically see like job duties.
Yep. Yeah. And there are a lot of things here too that let me know, or not, I won't say a lot, but there are several things here too that reveal this person's race. Because with me being an HBCU girl, right? So I know when I see these sororities, baby, I already know, right? I know that they're Black. And then I also know, but you can play that to your advantage, because if you're networking, within your sorority, y'all need to start tapping into this stuff that y'all paid, y'all getting hazed and all this kind of stuff too. You know what I mean? Like, make it work for you.
Make it work.
Make it work. Get your money's worth. Right. You have paid your dues. You go to all these meetings, all these, what do they call them? Conclaves. And I don't know. I'm not I didn't do that. But I'm just saying, like, you did things with that. And that hazing was a joke. Y'all don't come for me with that. But in those instances, do I care that you were in the band? Like, personally, yes, I care, because I get lost on YouTube when it comes to bands, right? Between Jackson State and Alabama State, I can lose my mind. But in the grand scheme of things in your career, it doesn't matter, right? So you want to, to make sure that if you're listing these organizations, that it's for a purpose. And I would rather you list the community events that you did versus the actual sorority, if you're not going to to tap into that for a networking for a networking reason. But again, it has to be relevant. Is this information relevant that you're adding to your resume? All right, so last one. So all right, so this resume structurally is probably one of the best ones that we've seen today. But there's those columns. We got to get rid of these columns, because here we are where everything is, left to right, and then boom, smack dab in the middle, we got columns. So it breaks the flow, the flow of reading. Right. But then also, again, I don't get to your experience into the second page of the resume. Your experience always has to be on that first page. It's got to be, because you are trusting that I'm going to scroll to even get to page 2. Okay. And I probably won't, right? Because you've got so much information. Like, you've got descriptions, you've got a professional profile, and then you've got a career summary. They're the same thing. Pick one. Then you've got a skills overview. All 3 of those are the same exact thing. They serve the same exact purpose. So you've got to pick one. If you were to pick one of these, then everything else moves, on the resume, and you've got more room to talk about the things that you've accomplished. And so again, so this person has described themselves as results oriented. Where are the results?
Yes.
I don't see any results. I'm not seeing any results here. And so,
the misconception is that.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are some results here, but the thing is, first glance, there needs to be a differentiator, because see, if everything is a bullet, everything gets kind of lost in the sauce, right? Because this person said they prevented the stock out of the metallic toner by performing laboratory pigment tests to recommend a lot to use in an emergency production batch. All right, so that's an accomplishment, but it's hidden in all this task stuff, right? So that's why it's important for only bullets to be accomplishments, because that separates it from that content. So if I only wanted to see your accomplishments, I can look at just those things. What else? Just structurally, like I said, there's not a really, really big deal here. I'm not really mad at it, but I want you to pick between professional profile, career summary, and skills overview. Plop this information into ChatGPT and ask it to, you can just say, here's information from my resume. Please write this in a more concise manner. Use 150 words or less. And that way it'll condense it down for you. And then you can, and then you can, use a combination of all of these things, but you absolutely don't need all three of those sections.
Yes.
Yep, yep. I also would pull the assistant product owner. I would pull that away from your first name, because in the system, if it parses your information and kind of fills in the blanks for you, assistant product owner is going to become part of your name. So I would put the assistant product owner, I would put that right above where you have professional profile, so that your title of your resume is different from your name. So your name and your contact information, there's not something that you kind of stuck in the middle of that. So I would move, I would move that. But for the rest of this stuff, you're talking about in your career summary about increasing sales, about driving revenue, about handling customer accounts, talking just a lot about the systems and the teams that you've worked with. I mean, it's great, but just structurally, it needs to be in a more tight, concise format, so that it's easier to read and that you only have that need to know information there.
Right.
Like I said, by far, this is probably the best layout, but still, there's work to be done there.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yep. So moving along, I do have one more.
Oh, okay.
So this one is an oldie but goodie format. I'm never mad at this format right here, because everything has its place. But again, I would want to move the software quality assurance engineer. I would want to move that away from the contact information, so that it does not cause a parsing issue. Again, this resume, same thing, bullet city.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Your tasks are not bullets. The bullets here that you have that describe just your general everyday type of work from your job description, that does not belong in a bullet. That is part of the scope of your job, which could be a little, I don't know, but just like a couple of lines, like a little paragraph. And then your bullets are your accomplishments. That's how it really should look. But 5 years of experience in software testing, that's great. You're letting somebody know right away how many years of experience you have. I would say once you start to get over that 5 years, don't put the years, because again, that starts to lean over into, because if I was to say I have 20 years of recruiting experience, you're already expecting somebody with gray hair and wrinkles.
Right.
Right? You're already expecting that, when I hope that's not what you think, that since I'm on this screen. But that's what, that's how it comes across. You have to think about how things feel. But I do see some accomplishments here, but the accomplishments need to be front loaded. So if you have that you reduced critical defects, you recruit in what you reduce that by 30%. I want to know that first, because that to me is more important than the fact that you enhanced a platform reliability, right? So, or you could combine those, that you reduce the defects, but enhance the platform reliability by implementing the automated. So you always put your result first, and then tell how you did it. Tell the what and then the how. Degree, not mad, because the education section is it's in order, the way it belongs. Professional skills, I always put the skills on the first page, just so you see those keywords right away. But here again, you're calling it professional skills, but you're only listing systems.
Technical, yeah.
Right. So there's a difference between your technical proficiency and then your professional skills. Those are different. So skills would be quality assurance. Skills would be, something like automation, if that's what you worked in. Skills would be, what else? Testing. It's, those other things that you have experience with here. So I'm just skimming really quickly to see if I can pull some troubleshooting. Those regression testing, you have those types of things there. Those are your skills. What you have here are your technical skills or your technical proficiency.
For this resume, I think about one of the examples that you gave the last time, where you, under the work experience, you gave like a nice small block, just just a quick caption of the job and what the person did, and then you went into the actual achievements. And so I think maybe that might work for this person with so many bullet points. And
because it helps to break it up, because that first bullet is an achievement, the second one is an achievement, the third one, the reason why I know that is not an achievement is because it starts off with perform cross-platform. That's talking about something that you do. right? So that's part of the scope of your job. So that shouldn't be a bullet. Conducted automated regression test. That is a scope. That's not part of that. That's not your accomplishment. Work with onshore and offshore team members effectively. Your second to last bullet. That's not an accomplishment. That's just talking about the part of the job that you were hired to do. You were hired to do that. But the accomplishments are saying the success that you had from what you were hired to do. So you have to ask yourself, is this something that I do, or is this a result of something that I did? That's how you distinguish your scope between, distinguish between your scope and your actual accomplishment.
Nice.
So yeah, so like I said, none of these resumes are trash. We can just up level all of them.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So here's some things that, so I do these sessions where just like I walk through these documents, I do an in-depth session line by line of all of the, all of the things that I would want to change to the resume to make it better. It's a recorded Zoom session. And so these are people who either attended my training from before, and here are some people who have actually worked with me since the last live that we did. And these are some things that they had to say.
All right.
Very, very, saying that it was very helpful. They love the ChatGPT prompts because I'm always telling people, like, let's make your life easier. Let's go find an example in ChatGPT, and then you're going to remix it and make it your own. So guys, if you are using ChatGPT to help you with your resume, to help you with anything that you're writing and submitting, make sure that you are putting your own stank on it, because we can absolutely tell when you have used ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a guide. It is not something where you're copying and pasting, because by doing that, you are plagiarizing, because the system is pulling information from other folks' resumes, is pulling it from their LinkedIn profiles, is pulling it from all over, the internet. And so you don't want to be copying and pasting something directly into your document and calling it your own without putting your own touch to it, without personalizing it. So I do teach people in coaching sessions how to effectively use ChatGPT prompts to get them to where they want to be, to practice for interviews, to write their resumes, to write their cover letters and all of that. And so this is what I did with these two clients here. And then, and so if you want to work with me, something happened with the upload here, but you can book a resume critique session with me. And you can also book one where we do the resume and the LinkedIn profile. It's a 1-hour recorded Zoom session. The turnaround time, once you make your changes from what we talked about in that session, you send it back to me. I clean it up, make sure that everything looks okay. I'll put a clean, crisp format to it. The turnaround time there is 1 to 3 days. And I do include a lot of resources to help you along the way as well. And so to do that resume only, it's $349. To do the resume and your LinkedIn profile, it's $549. It is absolutely worth it because it is personalized to you. And then I also give you pointers on how to get your information in front of recruiters faster and what to say if one reaches out to you. So I load you up with tons and tons of resources, one of which is in the grab bag. So make sure that that you pay attention to all those juicy resources. And then for today, I am going to give you a discount on my ultimate career kickstart kit. So there's a bunch of networking strategies that we cover, career document trainings, there's job search support and resources. There's 15 plus digital downloads that come in this kit. It includes the resume and cover letter training, plus you get templates. All right. So it's just plug and play where you enter your information into those templates following the instructions that I give you, worksheets to help you build those accomplishment bullets, LinkedIn profile resources, plus videos to help you with your LinkedIn. I also give you the most common interview questions with sample answers. Right. So now you know the types of, answers that we're looking for those common interview questions. And then I also show you how to answer those questions using that PAR format that we talked about, the problem, action, and result. And then you get follow-up questions, a networking plan. So when you get on LinkedIn, you know what to do with it. And then I also give you 100 tips for navigating the modern job search. All of that comes in this kit. Right. And the kit is on sale. It's $97 right now, but until 8/23, because we're 8/21 right now, if you use code career, and you can actually take out your phone
and
open the camera, and that will take you to this particular product. Okay. This product bundle. right? So you can use code career to get 15% off of this particular product, but also every digital product that I have. Okay. I typically don't do that. So I'm doing that for you now, for leaving it for a couple days. You get 15% off everything on not services, on digital products. You get 15% off until 8/23. All right. So just make sure that you scan that QR code.
It's so worth it, guys.
Definitely,
Guys,
because
get
all of
connected.
that stuff bundled up into one, it
Yeah.
really can support you throughout your entire job search.
And you don't have to pick and choose between
Yes.
this service and that. You get it all together in
Mhm.
one from an actual job search coach, recruiter,
Yes.
a
And I'll leave it up
professional.
for those of you who still need it.
Yes. So I highly, highly recommend that you guys take advantage of this.
Yes, and then this is the other QR code if you wanted to schedule your call, but you can also do so from my website where you can schedule the Zoom session. And like I said, I record it, I send it to you along with resources to support you. And then if you have questions, after the fact, I do support with any questions. But yeah, you are ready to start applying for jobs within 1 to 3 days.
Nice. All
Mhm.
right, guys. Do you guys see that? I'm gonna add ooh, your other social medias and website as well, just so that you guys can take advantage of it. Make sure that you do.
Yes, and I'm gonna hop back over and start looking at the chat too. Were there
Yes.
any questions that anybody had? Any questions?
So I see someone asked about federal resumes. They didn't really go into detail, but they
Yeah.
just mentioned, well, what about federal resumes? I guess what should you
Yeah.
do differently for those?
So I'm not a federal resume writer. I have not written federal resumes since probably last 10 years or so. So I wouldn't be the best person to ask that, but I do have a lot of referrals. So if you want to reach out to me privately to talk about what you're trying to do, then, I'll throw you some names. I have lists long of people
Yeah.
who can help you with the federal resume, but they are different than your standard resume. So your standard resumes are typically going to be 1 to 3 pages. Federal resumes I've seen them, and I've done them, up to 7, sometimes 9 pages, depending on
Wow.
how much experience a person has and what level of role that they're going to. So there is a strategic process involved in writing a federal resume, but also that application process. So when I do make the referral for you, I give you information on people who can also help you through the application process, because sometimes having that federal resume is just not enough. You need somebody that's going to help you with the assessment. You need somebody that's going to help you through the application process so that you can get referred for the jobs that you're actually applying to. So yeah, just reach out to me if you need any referrals.
Yes. So I see a question. What if you only use LinkedIn for a business page? I'm an artist, but still applying for jobs that ask for my LinkedIn.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a personal LinkedIn page, which is at Ashley J. Watkins. That is what I use to do my daily posts. That is where I give tips. That's basically where I do business. But I also have a business page. So when you have to be careful when you are applying to especially corporate level jobs and you have a business, because I don't know, they get a little in their feelings about us
Mm,
having, these side hustles and businesses. So sometimes it can be a turnoff because I need to know as a recruiter that you're going to be committed to, working for my company, not working from my company and trying to do your job at the same time. Because regardless of if that's what you're doing, your job, because sometimes they feel like we don't deserve to have
mm,
side hustles. Like we don't deserve to have our own businesses. Like we're not necessarily good enough to do that. So they
mm.
scrutinize it, especially our black and brown women.
Yeah.
And then, and men too, but again, women get it the worst. And I can speak from fact on that. I dealt with that with my last position. Even
Mm,
though I was hired having this business, until they realized kind of how big I was on LinkedIn, then it started getting a little salty. It wasn't my immediate leadership, but it was other people in leadership who were, kind of, side eyeing and, doing a lot of prying and probing and, and stuff like
mm,
that. So you have to make sure you know that company's policy. around having outside employment because it could be a conflict of interest. So it would benefit you to have a personal page alongside your business page, especially if you are looking for jobs. So that would be my advice. That is how I have gotten, positions. But you do have to be just really careful with how you position it, and it does take a lot of reassurance to those companies to let them know that, hey, these are my hours of operation for my business. I am not stealing customers from you. I'm doing whatever. Like, I've had my business since 2012. I just quit a job in February, so it still happens. Even though I was hired with the business, nothing changed. It became a problem. But I was already 1 foot out the door then, but that's neither here nor there.
Well,
I
good.
don't
You
care
got your business.
anything about quitting a job. You play with me one too many times, I'm out of there. But you just have, you have to be ready for that backlash, but you also can set yourself up not to necessarily be a threat by having a side business. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Get a personal page.
And if you need absolutely
that, I have a digital product that will help you build your LinkedIn profile from scratch.
Yes, guys. All right. So there's another question. Okay. Oh, my current job title from the company doesn't describe what I do at all, nor would it make sense outside the company because they have their own geeky terms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It
happens a lot. Yeah. And so what you can do is, back to what I said, you can use a slash title. So put the title that the company gave you, slash, and then put what it really means. Because at one point they were calling me a talent development. Talent acquisition development. And that was before talent acquisition was really a thing, and you knew that was a recruiter. So I would put my official title / recruiter, so people would know what that was, or I put it in parentheses so people would know what that meant outside of my company. That's just so it wouldn't look like I was trying to deceive about what my job title was, but I'm adding context to what my job title means.
Right. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. All right. Are companies really warming up to the idea of career breaks in terms of explaining gaps?
No, they're not really warming up to it. They just don't have a choice. Either you want employees or you don't, right? But there are still some people who are very antiquated in their thinking. So they're very judgmental at the fact that people are, being laid off. And it's like they're almost oblivious to the fact that it's taking some people a year or more to find work in this market. Because depending on what you're doing, like an area like HR, recruiting, project management, customer success manager, those jobs are kind of go-tos. Everybody feels like they can do those jobs. Everybody wants to do those jobs, right? So they're oversaturated. And plus, those jobs are more likely to be work from home. Right. So you can expect the market to be oversaturated. So that has created very lengthy job searches for people. And, and especially when these companies are having 8, 9, 10 rounds of interviews, for a job that's not even supervising people, which is bonkers to me. Those things are adding to the amount of time that it's taking people to get jobs. So while people are cognizant of that, it does not mean that they are less judgmental about it. So that's why it is necessary for you to explain what you were doing in those gaps, or be, comfortable having those conversations and not take things so personally. So if somebody's asking you what you were doing during that time, you can say, I was taking these trainings, but your resume should reflect that, that you were, caring for a loved one, that, whatever the reason may be, get to the point quickly and then move on to, but now I'm excited to work for you and help your company do XYZ. Right. So, yeah. So warming up, I don't know. I mean, I never really cared too much about gaps. I mean, as long as you weren't in prison or something, I really didn't care what, about the gap. I would just ask because my hiring managers wanted to know. But, I would have to argue with some hiring managers. I had one girl who took off. She got married. Her husband, had a job where he traveled, traveled quite a bit. So what they did was saved up money for 2 straight years, and they traveled for 1 year.
Oh, that's nice.
So they took an entire year off. She said they didn't eat out. They didn't do anything. They saved for that entire time, and then they were able to travel the world for a year.
Wow.
My hiring manager did not want to hire this person. Said, well, they haven't been working, they're out of the loop or whatever. And I'm like, no, this person is not out of the loop. They are traveling. This person attended meetings in
Mm-hmm.
other countries. This person networked with people from other countries, survived in a country where they had to be immersed into
Mm-hmm.
those cultures without having any background there. Like, that's a
Mm-hmm.
story to tell, and you should be
Right.
interested in hearing it. If your spouse gave you an opportunity to be off work an entire year, would you not take it? Like, I'm like, my
Hello.
husband, like, no, babe, I can't go because it's going to look bad on my resume.
On
Child,
my
girl,
resume.
so fast. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you have to, there are always going to be people, who think like that, but it's how you present the information
Right.
and how confident you are. Like, a lot of times when something, something happens, or whatever, and or if somebody's explaining something, like educating somebody about their disability, I love to see children explain to other children what their disabilities are. There's a kid in my neighborhood who's missing an arm. Nothing happened, they weren't in an accident, and they were like, yeah, I know it looks like I probably was hurt, but I wasn't hurt, I was born this way. My cells did not form correctly, so that means I didn't have an arm, but I can do most of the things that you can do. Whatever it is that you can do, I can do it. I just have to do it differently. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was an amazing response from this little kid. This little girl couldn't be more than 5 or 6 years old, but the way she explained that, the kid was like, oh, okay, cool. And they continue playing like it was nothing. It's the same thing with adults. If you explain what you're doing with clarity, with confidence, that's it. Move on to whatever else. Like, okay, now back to business. But
Right.
you start questioning it and you feel insecure about it. You can always tell somebody when somebody's insecure about something. They're hiding their smile. They're doing all of these things. So when you express yourself with confidence, people have no choice but to believe you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if they don't, move on. Like, that's not the right opportunity for you, would never make you feel like you're less than. So keep
Absolutely.
moving until you find that right fit opportunity.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, and there's so many life skills that you develop when
Mhm.
you are out of your comfort zone, you know?
Yes. 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 I had to plan a funeral for the first time, and that gave me life skills. I had to build relationships. I had to research. I had to become an accountant. I had to become a banker. You know what I mean? So there are so many things that you can learn, especially by caring for loved ones, caring for your own children. If you homeschooled your children, especially during the pandemic, put that on
Yes.
your resume.
All the
Put
skills.
Yes, yes, that is part of your life skills. You don't
Yeah.
have to go all into details and try to make it sound like something other than what it was, Thomas Enterprises and all this kind of stuff. You don't have to do that. You're a stay-at-home mom. It is what it is. Like, be confident in that, and be proud of it. Embrace it. It's a part of your story. It's a part of your journey. Just tell the story with confidence.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, someone asked, what if you want, oh, I guess they mentioned, okay, they want to know, what if you went to school for a major that does not match the job? I guess, do you include it? What does that look like on a resume?
Include it, because unless it's a technical field like engineering, medical, stuff like that, we don't care what you got the degree in. I worked for an HR manager that had an English degree. Another one had a degree in sociology. It's just the fact that you have a degree, or that you have some college. It shows your commitment. It shows your dedication
Yeah.
to further learning, and those types of things. So I don't care if it was in art and basket weaving. Girl, put that degree on your
Yes,
resume. Put the
absolutely.
college, put the classes, put them on there, because it could be the difference between how much money you make.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
What else here? I also, oh, no, not that one. Oh, okay. Okay. Do these go through the ATS before it reaches a recruiter such as yourself, or is the process simultaneous?
Well,
So,
so the
yeah.
ATS is just where your resume is housed. So as soon as you click submit, it goes into the ATS, and then I get a notification that I've got a new application. Right.
Hmm.
So it's just like if you were sent to send me an email, right? It's just a system. The ATS is just a system. It's not a robot. Okay.
Hmm.
It doesn't have a mind of its own. Whatever happens to your resume from the point you click submit, a person is doing that. So if you get a rejection immediately when you apply to a position, that may not be a person. That may be a fact that they asked you certain questions, like, do you have a degree? Do you have X number of years of experience? Do you have experience with this type of system? And you answer incorrectly or differently than what they want you to answer. That's a knockout question. So boom, it's on out the way. The same way you end up with 1,000 search results on Amazon, and then you search and say you want the color to be black. Well, anything that's not black is going to get eliminated from your search results. So you may go from 1,000 results to now you got 323, right? Yeah. So that is what the system is doing, is knocking out the things that don't qualify. So that is the immediate rejection that you get. But 9 times out of 10, there is a recruiter who is reading your resume or some portion of your resume, because the ATS can help me sort, it can help me filter, just so I can get to your information faster. That's why I said those job titles do matter, because I can search and filter out new candidates by the type of job title they have. So if you are some sandwich artist aficionado and I'm actually looking for somebody who's a customer service associate, it's going to eliminate it, and I can press the button to send you an automated letter, right? So don't be afraid of the ATS. It really is just a database. It's just a database, but a person is telling that database what notifications to send to you.
Right. And also within the database, do they include like which keywords and phrases they want to see on that specific resume as a filtering system?
Not necessarily. So when I have a conversation, so say I've got a job opening, I'm going to have a meeting with my manager to discuss the job posting. I'm going to put the keywords in there that I want to see, because that's me letting the candidates know this is what I want to see, right? I'm not going to give them a whole list of keywords. I mean, that's cheat code. Why would I do that? Right? I mean, some of them actually do, try to make it easy for you, and people still don't.
Yeah.
Because everybody's moving so fast. Nobody has time to read anything. But anyway, so my manager is going to let me know what types of things need to be, what experience they need to have, what functions they need to have experience doing, what things they need to have knowledge of, what type of degree they need to have, how many years of experience they need to have. So when they apply in the system, I'm still with my own eyes looking at resumes, judging whether or not they have those things. But I can use the applicant tracking system, depending on how it's set up and what features my employer has paid for. I can sort the person by their match to my position.
Okay.
How well they match, the same way that those matches come up in Amazon. So if you think about it, those types of databases work in the very same way, that you can filter out based on what you need.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. I do have a question. So there's a lot of talk about keywords, but a lot of the, I guess, thoughts are that keywords are team player. these just not oblivious, but just words that don't connect to anything.
Yeah.
Team player, fast, like we've seen in one of the resumes, fast-paced.
Verbal and written communication skills.
Right. It's the misunderstanding of what the keywords are.
Right. So think of it like this. The keywords that I am looking for as a recruiter are words that let me know what you have experience with and what you have knowledge of. So if I am a recruiter, then the keywords that somebody's going to be looking for if I apply for a recruiting job is the job title, recruiter, or talent acquisition, something that has something to do with recruiting. They want to see things like interviews. They want to see time to fill. They want to see candidate assessments. They want to see relationship building, because those are things that I need to have experience with and experience doing in order to do that job. If I'm an accountant, I need to see accounting, finance, general ledger. I need to see balance sheets. I need to see accounts receivables, accounts payable.
Right.
I can find out when I interview you whether or not you got communication skills.
Right.
I can ask you questions to determine your team player.
Which doesn't say anything at all.
Exactly, because gang members are team players.
Right. You did say that.
Right. So, so those are what keywords are. So what happens is people start to use these systems like JobScan. They start to use all these things, and it's telling them they got to have this number. You got to meet this number. No, because now it's asking you to put words in your resume that don't matter. It's telling you to put things in there like ambition, whatever. Like, I am not going to search for ambition if I'm looking for a project manager. I'm looking for agile. I'm looking for Six Sigma. I'm looking for, somebody to have a PMP. I'm looking for those specific competencies. So what do you have knowledge of? What do you have skills in? Not your personal attributes, not what makes you the person that you are. Being a team player, that's part of your personality. Being a good listener is a part of your personality. Those are not things that I need to see on your resume necessarily. That's not what I'm searching for when I'm trying to find out whether or not you're qualified. So don't worry about filling your resume up with those kinds of things. You're filling your resume up with things that explain your expertise.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes. So keywords, just, make sure, like you mentioned, soft skills, like team player, communication skills, they're not as
as
needed.
Point.
And then you have to be careful how you use how you fill up your resume. You want to keep space for what truly matters instead of filling it with, fluff.
Right.
So someone asked, what if they ask for a bachelor's degree? And if you have a master's degree, should you omit your master's so you don't look overqualified? They're concerned that their master's makes them look like they're overqualified for the bachelor's degree requirement.
If your master's is making you look overqualified, you're probably overqualified for that position, period. Yeah. But if it's asking for a bachelor's, you can list your bachelor's and your master's. But I don't think it's necessary. Like, say, for instance, I have a bachelor's in human resources. My master's in human resources trumps my bachelor's in human resources, or my bachelor's in anything for that matter. But if you're concerned about whether or not you're going to get a ding, for that, list both of them. Like, I'm not going to not hire you because you listed both your master's and your master's and your bachelor's. But no, if that one thing is what you think make you overqualified, you're overqualified anyway.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be one thing that makes you overqualified.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're probably not shooting high enough.
Yeah, with the master's, I mean, I do see a lot of, the jobs that I find, I don't exactly see a lot of master's degree requirements. It's a lot of bachelor's degree, and very rarely
or equivalent.
Or the equivalent work experience.
Right. And so if it's an equivalent work experience, if they're asking for a bachelor's or equivalent, and you're like, well, how much equivalent? 4 years. Bachelor's is a 4-year degree. Master's is 6 years. So they're looking for 4 years of experience in that thing that's relevant, or they're looking for 6 years of experience that's relevant. Absolutely. So, but your resume typically is not going to go back more than 10, I would say 15 at the max, even if that experience is relevant. And it's because what you did 10, 15 years ago is not relevant to what you are doing right now. And you want to only include the information on your resume that helps you avoid ageism. I have yet to see very many job postings that ask for more than 5 to 7 years of experience. I may see 8 every now and then, but I've never seen somebody asking, we need 15 to 20 years of experience. So why are you putting 15 to 20 years of experience on your resume? Even if you've been in that same position at that same job for 15, 20, 25 years, you don't have to list that entire time that you were there. List the last 10 years, because hopefully you got promoted. Hopefully your job scope changed a bit, where you're adding more responsibility, where you've progressed in some type of way. Maybe you were over these accounts when you first started, and now you're over these accounts. You want to be able to show that growth. Go ahead and just limit it to that, to just that 10. If you have to do 15, but I usually see once we get to 10 years, we're done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So someone asked, so basically cut down your years of experience so you don't. Okay, yeah, like we mentioned just now, don't experience ageism. If pay is based on experience, then why would you do that?
So it's a choice between whether or not you can tell somebody in an interview that you have 20 years of experience, because you need to make it to the interview, or they're going to rule you out because you listed 25 years. It's up to you what you want to do. So, I would just advise you not list more than 10 to 15 years of experience on your resume. And then they can only pay you to a certain degree, because if the job is asking for 1 year of experience, they're not going to pay you extra because you got 20 years. They didn't ask you for that. So that's not what I mean when I say they're paying you for your years of experience. So if you got 5, if they're asking for 5 and you've got 7, yeah, there may be a way to bump you up from a level 1 position to a level 2 position. But if you are beyond the requirements for that position, that doesn't always mean that you're going to get more money. But I need to see those years of experience to make sure that that you meet the minimum requirements, right? But just because you come with double the years of experience doesn't mean you're going to get double the pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And someone, I think I've lost it just now. Oh, okay. Should you put your most recent job, even if it's not the type of job you're applying for? So customer service, but applying for editor.
Yeah, if you want to list your, you don't want to eliminate jobs on your resume. You want to show your transferable skills in that job. So if you did customer service, you want to focus on those tasks or those accomplishments that you gain from that role. You want to make sure that those align with the position that you're applying to. So say, for instance, you wrote standard operating procedures, right? Or you went through and you had to edit those, or you had to revamp those. That's what you're going to list on your resume. If you had to write notifications or emails or whatever, some sort of notification to customers, right? So you want to talk about that, because when it comes to editing, those are the types of tasks that you will be doing. Those are the types of projects that you will be responsible for. So you want to list those things and those things only. So you don't eliminate the job entry. You eliminate those parts of your job that don't matter to the new opportunity.
Right. You can use transferable skills. You don't have to rule it out completely because you're not in that lane. You have skills that can transfer and qualify you for that position.
Yeah. Because a lot of you are sitting on 6-figure skills and you're making $12 an hour because you're applying for a customer service associate versus a customer success manager, doing the same work, sometimes doing less work. So you have to make sure that you're reading these job postings and giving yourself credit for all of the work that you're doing. Because if you're working in customer service, you were just attempting to discount the experience that you have that's relevant to editing. So you have to think about this stuff literally. If they're saying that you're supposed to write and edit content for a website, did you write and edit content for an email? Did you write and edit content for a procedural document? Did you write and edit content for some sort of brochure for an event that you handle? You think about all of those things that are relevant, and then you list that, and now you can give yourself credit for those years of experience.
Absolutely.
But if you don't give yourself credit, you cannot count on the person who has never heard of you. They've only have your resume to go by. They can't make that assumption. I cannot easily assume that you have the experience that you didn't list. It's up to you to tell me what experience you have.
Yeah. And that's why it's great to know, because sometimes it sounds really confusing. You don't even know where to begin. It's good to know people who are able to help you with your resume, such as Ashley, to also help you in your career journey, help you know how to pivot if you wanted to pivot, and not settle for the same, customer service jobs or the low paying jobs, but level up. And also to have a resume that will get you the pay that you want as well, instead of using, the same basic templates that you might be using now. So, absolutely. Yeah.
Yep, it makes a difference. It absolutely does. This chat is very active.
Right? I'm still trying to catch up. I don't even know where I am. So, okay, question. What do I put on my resume for experience when I am headed into a new career? Oh, okay.
Skills. Yeah, we kind of just hit on those. You talk about the job that you had. You can be truthful about your job title. Again, you want to put the emphasis, though, in that title by using that slash to pull out the relevant stuff. But you're only going to talk about those skills and accomplishments that are relevant to the job that you want.
Right. Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's Let's see. Ooh, you guys are like, okay, where do I put my completed LinkedIn course info on my resume?
You can put it in your in a section, like, so you can say education and training, or or just create a training section, by itself, and then just put the trainings there. And you don't even have to say that they came from LinkedIn Learning. Just put the title of the course and keep it moving.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm seeing someone mention how basically, what if I had to take a job at a lower level than my years of experience? The professional jobs are taking so long, but I needed to work.
Yeah.
That sounds like kind of like a case of transferable skills,
Yeah,
possibly.
and it's also a bridge job. So
Right.
listen, there's no shame in being able to pay your bills. I don't care if you're driving Uber, doing DoorDash. I don't care. A job is a job.
Mhm.
You're eating, okay? But in that position, if you are a salesperson and say, for instance, you have to pick up a job at, on DoorDash or Uber because that's what's going to pay the bills, or you're working at Target, as a sales associate, whatever it is, find the transferable skills. It all leads back to, what am I doing in this job that is supporting me to do this new job?
Mm-hmm.
What is it supporting me? It's just a pit stop, right? But you're going to still pull out the transferable skills that are in there. I think somebody else in the chat had asked about the years of experience. If it is an executive role, it doesn't matter whether it's entry level on up to executive level, 10 to 15 years of experience. It does not matter what level of position. We still do not need, even at the executive level. I have never seen a posting that has asked for more than 10 years of experience. Never. And I've recruited at every level.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a posting to say that you need to have 20 years of experience.
20 years of experience.
Yeah. I've never seen a posting ask for that.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yes, you'll be safe at the executive level.
Yeah, absolutely.
To have a resume that only has 10 to 15 years of experience. It really depends on what is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 to 15 years is the cutoff.
Right. Right. Okay, we can squeeze in two more questions. I saw one. Okay, what do you advise someone that just relocated to the U.S. with no work experience in the U.S., but has work experience and certifications?
Okay, so two things. First, you want to make sure that you are eligible to work in the United States. So that means that you have your visa intact, right? So that's first and foremost. It may be helpful, like if you have a green card, or you're here on OPT or H-1B, or whatever type of visa it is. If you already have that, typically those H-1Bs are assigned to your employer, so you may not be, you won't have it once you leave that employer. But if you have something like you're here on a student visa, or you're here because you married someone and you got your green card, put that on your resume. Because a lot of times people will refuse to hire you because they feel like you're not a U.S. citizen and you're not eligible to work in the United States. And that is a requirement. And it's a lot of times it is a knockout question. Are you eligible to work in the United States?
Right.
They will ask that question. So that's first and foremost, you have to be eligible. Second thing, work is work. I don't care if you want to moon. If you did the work, list it on your resume. If it is relevant, draw out the relevant skills that you have, draw out the relevant education, the relevant training, all of that, put that on your resume. If you are currently studying and you're taking courses, then create a position for your resume that says, seeking employment or freelance or whatever it is. And then you can say, I am actively seeking employment after relocating to the United States. You're adding context to the fact that you're seeking employment. But yeah, absolutely. I don't care what country you got your experience from. List it on the resume. Let me decide what experience is going to be there. Because even like a medical degree, right? Just because you got that medical degree in another country, different countries have different standards, but that doesn't take away that you were working in that medical capacity. So you may have to just pick up some courses or get another license or do something, like that to be eligible to practice in the United States. But that doesn't trump all of the experience. It doesn't go down the drain. You have to still position it as relevant experience. Yeah. So kudos to you for moving, but give yourself credit for the work that you've done. That doesn't just go away.
Right.
Yeah, you have value regardless, U.S. or not.
Absolutely. So put it on your resume,
Mm-hmm.
everything that you did. Um, okay, let me see. All right, last question. Okay. Oh, okay. What if I don't meet all minimum requirements? How can you still get the interview?
I don't know, because you got to meet the minimum qualifications. You're not qualified if you don't meet the minimum qualifications. Depending on the type of job, especially when you're looking at more of your government, state, type of jobs, they could get fined for hiring you without the right level of experience, right? So
Oh.
I don't know that you're worth that to any company, right? They can shut down, I have to pay a hefty fine because they hired you and you don't meet the minimum qualifications.
Oh.
So, that's step number one, is meeting the minimum.
Mhm.
Now, it does depend on how far off you are from meeting the minimum, on whether or not somebody will talk to you, just to see if there's an opportunity that they can kind of mix and match. But see, you companies can get in trouble for hiring you without the minimum qualifications, right? When they've got an internal person who has the minimum qualifications, or other candidates, especially those who may be diverse candidates, may have disabilities, whatever it is, and then they hire you and you didn't even meet the minimum qualifications. They are setting themselves up for trouble. So I wouldn't ever expect to be the exception if I don't meet the minimum qualifications. But that's why you have to look at whether or not it says preferred
Mhm.
qualifications or if it says required qualifications. But if you don't meet the required qualifications, I don't know that there is a way for you to go ahead and kind of squeak in there. Maybe a referral can help you.
Mhm.
Um, but again, there's too much at stake for that to hire you. You don't meet it.
Mhm.
I would say that if there's preferred qualifications and basic qualifications, so you meet the basics and then there's some of the prefers that you don't have, as long as you meet about 75 to 80% of those qualifications, I would say, yeah, go ahead and apply. But again, you miss every shot you don't take. So
Mhm.
if you don't meet the minimum qualifications, go ahead and apply and see if you can get a networking contact to refer you or whatever. You may get an interview, but I would say the best way to get an interview is to meet the qualifications.
Right. And I was going to ask how many qualifications, because maybe if you don't have 5 years, but you've got 3 years and all the other qualifications, does that completely negate your qualifications?
It
Or can you
doesn't, but it
still,
depends on the other candidates too.
yeah.
Do the other candidates have it? Do any internal candidates have it? There are other factors. It's not just you. Because see, that's what people do. They assume that, okay, well, I'm so close or whatever, but there are other people that are close and they may be closer. So you have to you
Yeah.
have to consider that as well. There is nothing wrong with throwing your name in the hat if you want, you know, but again, that's part of the reason why it takes so long for you to hear back. That's part of the reason why you're in a pool of candidates of 3 and 4 and 500, because all of those people think, well, I'm gonna go ahead and apply anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to think, am I adding to the problem or do I really have a shot? Is it just wishful thinking? And I'm just thinking I'm special for whatever reason. The best way for you to get an interview is to be qualified.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. One last question. You guys are going in. All right. Okay. So, what is the most clever way to list your degree on the resume that you're in pursuit of?
You don't have to be clever. Just so if you have so it's university, you list the location of the university, you list the degree that you're getting, right, and in parentheses you put pending. That's
Mhm.
it. There's nothing clever really about that. You don't have to lie, you don't have to finesse.
Right.
um you just tell the truth.
Yes. Yes. Someone said, point taken, Ashley. You miss every shot you don't take.
Yes, every single shot. Like, people say, why don't you just give me a chance? Well, I can't
Yeah.
give you a chance if you didn't give yourself a chance. So
Right. Right.
just go ahead and do it. It may happen. I mean, I was hired for a position that, required a certification. I didn't have that certification, but I had a degree. I had tons of years of experience. That was one thing that I was missing, but they came after me. So I didn't apply, for that particular position. So it does happen, but you can't just kind of go through life expecting to, oh, well, I'm missing 5 of these these major
Yeah.
qualifications, and I don't have them. But if they're asking for 5 things and you have 4, of those. And that one thing that you don't have is maybe they're asking for SAP and you don't have that. You have experience with Oracle or Salesforce or whatever. Go ahead and apply.
Yeah.
But if they're asking for 5 years of experience and you got 2, you can still go ahead and apply, but you're probably going to get a rejection. So every chance that you take, expect to get rejected. And I think that's too, it's hurtful. I don't like rejection.
Yeah.
I'm a recruiter and I get in my feelings when I'm like, girl, I spent all this time on this application and you rejected me. So, but you have to just to understand that if 500 people applied, 499 people got to get rejected. Right? It's not personal. It's not personal. They didn't just pick through there and say, I don't like her, so I'm not gonna let her get it. That's not what happened 9 times out of 10. Okay. So apply for these jobs and detach. Move on to the next thing. These companies are not worth your feelings. They're not worth your tears. They're not worth. They haven't paid you. They're not worth
paid you.
Right. If you had paid me a dime, baby, you're not worth my stress. I'm stressed about you. My check that had come from you yet. Go ahead. Move on to something else. You're on to the next thing.
Right.
Because our feelings are too fragile. We are too, energetic to expose ourselves to that type of hurt, to that type of heartbreak over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Get feelings out of it. I understand that bills got to get paid. Pay those bills, but that company doesn't deserve that level of connection to your heart, to your feelings, to your energy, to your psyche. They haven't earned that from you. The same way that these men and these women haven't earned certain access to you, certain companies have not earned that access to you. So apply for the job and keep it moving. Go on to the next thing until they give you a reason to care. So the sooner you can kind of program yourself to, just kind of settle your nerves and just move on from the situation, the less you have invested in these opportunities, that you're not putting your whole life and your whole, being and your everything into these opportunities that may not pan out, because all that's doing is chopping you down smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So by the time you apply for something else, now you basically Eeyore. You're down in the dumps, you're doing all this kind of stuff, and you're a great person. You're great with what you have, but don't give these people your feelings. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it yet. They haven't earned that from you yet.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much. I mean, I feel like a lot of people, they do put a lot in one bucket, or however you say that, but they put a lot into one opportunity when you can focus on other opportunities as well. You don't exactly have to put everything in one. You can look at other companies that you're interested in working for, look at other positions, and just keep trying. Keep putting yourself out there. Don't give up.
Yes, even if you have an offer, keep looking, keep interviewing, because offers fall through, budgets fall through, they put positions on freezes, they do all of that until your butt is in that seat. And even then, keep looking, because you can best believe that if I get a job, I don't care if they're paying me $150. If I'm sitting at this job and a job comes along and they're going to pay me $175 and I'm doing less work and doing whatever, you can bet your bottom dollar.
That's a better deal.
Always be looking. Always be looking. Always be ready. Your resume should always be up to date. You should continuously be networking. There should never be a time that you are not networking online. If you can get over there and laugh on TikToks and get stuck in that doom scrolling, you can get somewhere and connect with people who can get you closer to opportunities. Never stop looking. Always entertain opportunities. Doesn't mean you got to act on it, because there's stability. You want to have, job stability. But I'm not giving up a 40K increase for the appearance. So always keep those opportunities. Somebody, hey, want to reach out to this job? No, I already got a job or whatever. Then next thing you know, 2 weeks later, you laid off, and now you're trying to reach back to that person. Hey, can I see you? No, it's done. It's gone. It's gone now. They moved on to somebody else because they detached, and moved on to the, to the next person. So again, always be ready and always be looking.
Right, absolutely. The same way they're looking for candidates and they put you through the whole screening is the same way that you also hold that same position and seeing, is this even a company I want to get behind? Is this a vision that I support? is this worth my skills, my qualifications and time? You know, you're
Right.
interviewing at the same time. And so
Still,
that
when you
keeps
start.
your power in some capacity.
Absolutely, because I worked somewhere. I thought it was great. I got a good pay increase to go work at that job. And after them first 90 days, I was like, hey, I know this is not gonna work, but I'll try to stick it out because I don't wanna look like I'm a job hopper and all
Mhm.
that. I lasted at that job 8 months. I couldn't take,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
I knew within that first 90 days that that job was not gonna work. Actually, I
Mm.
knew before then, but
You
I'm
you you tend to know within
yeah,
yeah
you
the first few
you know.
months.
Right. And what did I do? I stopped networking. I stopped
Mm.
applying for jobs. I stopped because I had a job, right? But that was a big mistake of mine. I should have kept looking because at this point I still entertain opportunities. I'm a whole business owner. But if somebody's going to talk to me about an opportunity where I can do both, I'm going to do both. I'm not opposed
Mhm.
to working in corporate. I just chose to quit my corporate job. But I'm not opposed to working a corporate job while I'm, continuing, to build my business because a coin is a coin. I'm going to,
A
and I'm
coin is a coin.
right? So I'm always looking. My resume is always up to date. It's never going
Yeah,
to be a point where somebody's going to ask me, "Hey, I got this opportunity. I need your resume." Boom, it's on my phone.
right
I'm not.
there.
I got to get my resume together. I need somebody to do my resume. I don't have no money.
Mhm.
No, never, never should that happen to you because
Mhm.
now you're stressed. You going into all this stressful energy.
Yeah.
And stuff. You're gonna worry yourself half to death. You can't sleep. Now you're getting scammed because you're trying to jump on the first thing moving for somebody to help you. You can't afford
Mm.
what you need because you haven't prepared. Be
Mhm.
ready at all times. Be ready at all times.
Be
These
ready so
companies
you
out
don't have to
there
get
don't care about you. I don't care how much money you made these companies, how much you answer your phone on the weekends to help them through their problems, how much you volunteer to do this and whatever, how much these leadership people in leadership kiki with you. It does not matter because if it comes down to the budget and you're behind, you're gonna be up out of there. And they're not
ready.
gonna think anything of it.
Yeah,
So you
absolutely.
have to be the same way. Think about yourself first.
Mhm. Yes.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
That's why I love doing these to tell people what they're doing from the other side of the table because I've been on both
Yes.
sides and understanding what that looks like and what it means when they're doing certain things. And stop giving these companies more credit than they're worth. There's no such thing. You're not my family. No, you're not. You
Right? This is a
yeah,
family-oriented environment. We're all
yeah,
about family,
yeah, until y'all budget start looking crazy.
right?
And then
I'm
it's what?
saying,
So, no,
absolutely.
because I've been laid off before. It took me that one layoff for me to learn there's no such thing as this is your family. And your work bestie will definitely throw you under the bus if it's between their job and yours. So stop playing
Mm,
with these people at work.
right.
Stop
Work is
playing.
work.
Think about yourself. Be nice and friendly and what we're saying now, cutesy and demure. You be like that at work.
Lord.
But be for real.
Yes,
Be for real.
absolutely.
Look out for yourself.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Ashley. You provided us so
Okay.
much. Like every time you come, there's just like gems that are dropped, and we all love it. We're all here for it. Someone said a wise man told me, "Stay ready, so you never have to get
Get
ready."
ready. Yep.
That's the premise of this whole
Every
thing.
time.
Absolutely. So please reach out to
Every time.
Ashley. She will help you with your resume, interview prep, coaching, so much so that you don't have to scramble around trying to get ready at the last minute. She'll give you confidence, help you to pivot into different career paths. Whatever it is that you're looking for guidance for, I want you guys to hit her up, like bombard her LinkedIn,
Yes.
inbox, do whatever, but make sure that you
Yes.
grab hold of this resource because she is really good at what she does, and I
Yes.
really
Yes.
want to see you guys win.
Yes, connect with me on LinkedIn and just search for Ashley Watkins Thomas.
Yeah.
That's where I am on LinkedIn. You'll see a lot of tips. You can binge scroll, binge read, binge digest, do all of that. You can also take a peek at my recommendations to see the real people, that I've worked with. So no scamming,
Yeah.
over here. If you want to work with me, you schedule an appointment. I look at your information and I don't feel like anything's wrong with it. I'm going to tell you, I don't see anything wrong with it. I'm not going to make you I'm not going to charge you for something that I'm not doing.
Yeah.
So I don't mind telling you that, yeah, it's nothing wrong here, that, you probably should do these things. So yeah, don't be afraid to schedule an appointment with me. I offer free consults for any services or programs. That's the only time you will swipe a card with me. If you want to just get on the phone and have a conversation to kind of see whether or not, it will be a fit for us to work together, that's where you'll schedule your phone consult. But thank you so much for having me today. I'm looking forward to see what Ashley has to say about this.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much, Ashley. And guys, please, like I mentioned, take advantage of the resources. We also have in the description box her info so that you guys can grab a hold of that as well. Thank you so much, Ashley. We know you'll be back, okay? Because you're always dropping the gems.
Yes, I love it here. I love it over here.
Too, yes. Okay, well, have a good night, and we will be talking very soon.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys. So that was Ashley Watkins Thomas. If you guys missed the entire everything that she did, the resume reviews, the speaking points that she had earlier, we will have this reposted, okay, so that you guys can go back and refer back to it. I've been hearing things about how you guys have been wanting timestamps, which will make these lives a lot easier. So I'm gonna try my best, all right, and give that to you guys. So we have another Ashley, all right? We have another Ashley, and let me just go ahead and just show her bio. So, Ashley, like I mentioned before, she is a business and tech entrepreneur. She landed her first high-paying job, went through all the ups and downs. You guys will definitely understand her and kind of understand her struggle as well, because I know some of you guys are in the trenches right now, looking for a job, going through rejection after rejection, dealing with doubt, your own personal fears, inadequacies, and so forth. So now she stands on top, and she is helping people to level up in their professional lives through her speaking, her mentorship, and her coaching services. So Ashley, it's so great to have you here. Let me go ahead and add you to the stage. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hey. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for just taking the time to be here with us. A lot of people, you have a great story to tell. A lot of people need to hear things from someone who's been in the trenches, looking for jobs, going through the rejections, and ultimately coming out on the other side winning. So thank you so much for being here. Can you just go ahead and get started just sharing more about you? Tell us what you did before you got started with your career, the whole backstory.
Yeah, so my name is Ashley. I have a background in the healthcare industry, the medical billing and coding side of things. So I was pretty much in that role for a long time. I am a mom of 2 kids, so I got comfortable in that role where I'm like, the day-to-day is the same. I was like, I can do this with my eyes closed. This is the best option for me. But then I started to realize how things started to change, like the prices in gas, the location of my job changed. So it went from driving 15 minutes to over an hour. Then it went to my kids having sports, and then my daughter's and, she was like young. So it was like, daycare and babysitting. So it was like, I had to make a change. So, I mean, coming from a mom stand of view, it's like you don't want to miss out on too much of what your kids are doing. You don't want to miss those first steps. You don't want to miss that birthday. You don't want to miss that, mom and son breakfast at school. So I had to just literally pray, like, show me a sign, like, let me know it's time to go, and I did that. I did some fasting. I prayed to show me a sign. And then that's when I got the confirmation and I transitioned into the career that I am today, which I love, by the way. So I was able to basically level up my lifestyle, but also for my family. So the decisions that I made wasn't just for me, like, oh, the salary, the money, the opportunity to work from home. It was more so of how can I be there for my kids? How can I have that work-life balance? How can I, travel? How can I do the things that I've always wanted to do working in the medical and billing side of things or the healthcare industry? How can I, now be in my 30s and live my life, if
Right.
that makes sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that matters so much, your work-life balance, your ability to be flexible, and you're a mom. So you definitely want to be somewhere, to work somewhere where you're able to still balance your different roles and be there, like you said, presently for your child. So that's huge. A lot of people are looking for that. And it's great that you found that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what is it that you do? Please tell us. And
Yes.
yeah, tell us.
Okay, let me share. So, coming from the healthcare industry, so we all know how that is, the regular 9 to 5, be present on site, strict schedule. I transitioned to tech sales. So I am a business development representative. I basically work with tech companies to find new business for the companies from home. I don't go in the office. I don't do anything. I literally work from home, do the calls, do meetings from home. So basically, what it is a opportunity to have a salary role position because I was coming from an hourly of 12 years in medical billing with like maybe 2 or 3 raises to a more work life balance, more less stress, less micromanaged, and obviously I can make my own schedule. So in the tech sales, I didn't have any prior experience in sales. The only thing I did was take a course. It's called Course Careers. The course is obviously the tech sales course. It's around maybe $400-$500. It is an investment, but that investment does change lives. Like I've
Yeah.
helped people change lives. I've seen people go from sleeping in cars to almost evicted to now moving in high rises or getting a house or getting that new car. Like
Mhm.
so, it's definitely doable, but you have to want it. It's not something that's going to be given to you. Like you actually have to say like, do I want to change? Like, do I want the lifestyle that I see maybe on Instagram or maybe on Facebook or someone that you like and you're like, oh, I wish I had that. You can have that too, but you just have to go get it. So for me, the tech sales industry is an easier way to transition into a high paying role because it was something that's entry level. So I didn't have to have the 2 to 5 to 6 year experience. It was, hey, we'll pay you, X amount, 70, $80,000 a year entry level. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll take it.
Yes,
So that was a no-brainer. I was like, sure, like this is what I need to get into. So for me, I like to just spread the word. I know there's a lot of moms, a lot of dads, parents are both roles, right? And I know that you guys are probably looking for that opportunity too. And you're like, I've never heard of tech sales. Like, what is that? And it
right.
is something that's not talked about, but only in like a certain community.
Mhm.
So again, I know Ashley was on here earlier talking about LinkedIn and networking, and that's
Mhm.
100% correct. Like, I didn't even know LinkedIn was such a huge platform until I was looking for these high paying salary roles. And we're
Mhm.
talking entry level, not mid level, not associate level, literally like 0 to 6 months, maybe a year experience.
Mm.
So it's definitely a great opportunity.
I love that. And when people hear tech, they automatically think, oh my gosh, I have no, I'm not that smart. I don't know anything about coding. So can you explain what exactly tech sales is?
Yeah, so tech sales is the industry, but there is umbrella. So you have software development, cybersecurity, fintech, health tech, ed tech. You have business to business. So it's not really like that AI that a lot of people think. They like to merge tech to like AI. It's more of a industry code. So for me as a BDR, I just literally cold call or make phone calls and send emails. That's all I do. So
Yeah.
it's not like I'm coding or it's a hard job to do. I just literally make the calls that they request, which is like 50 to 60 a day. I do that and I send some emails. I set meetings for the company because again, you are generating new business. So
Mhm.
you're setting meetings for the account executives to go to and close deals. So once you make that phone call or send that email, you land that meeting, you just wipe your hands and you're done.
Nice.
So it's very chill. And then you can also create your own schedule. So if you're like, okay, I'm gonna work, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna work for 2 hours and I'm gonna take a break. Go to the grocery store, go pick up my kid from daycare, or go to my mom's, or go, you can do that. And then come back, make some more phone calls. As long as you're hitting your minimum requirements, that's all they ask, because it is an entry level role. But you definitely don't want to get too comfortable to where you're binge watching Netflix and it's been like 4 hours. And it's like, oh, I didn't make that one call. Yeah, so it is definitely a great opportunity. You can travel with this opportunity. I've been to Disney World. I've been to Ohio. And I literally just take my laptop. I'll send some emails, work a half a day, and then I'll close my laptop and I'm still getting paid. So again, this is salary opportunity. And a lot of these companies have unlimited PTO. So you can have that life, that work-life balance, so it's very, very, an eye-opener, a life-changing opportunity if you're looking to make a career change.
Yeah, I didn't know about that aspect where it was so flexible. But then again, I do find jobs from business development reps and sales development reps, I think it's called, where they mention, okay, here's what you're doing. You're making 50 calls, you're sending emails. So I guess it does make sense. Okay, as long as you're hitting that quota, you're still fulfilling the role. I'm sure you still have like team meetings and stuff in between, but it's great that it's flexible for you. You're still able to move around a little bit. Yeah. So what made you start, what made you think tech sales versus anything else? Because you're from medical coding, so maybe you could have thought of some other industry within tech. So why did you choose tech sales?
I chose tech sales because of the growth opportunities. So in the healthcare industry, when you become a medical biller, that's it. That's your title. There's no level 2, level 1, senior, associate. It's just medical billing. And it's also hourly as well. So in the tech sales industry, you can grow. So you could become an SDR or BDR, and then you can go to a senior SDR or BDR, to a account executive, to a manager, to a VP of sales. So you can definitely, grow within these industries, and they will rather prefer to coach you to be successful in the same company. So a lot of times in interviews, they'll say, hey, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And I'm like, oh, growing within the company, of course, because it's an investment. I'm like, I don't know how to be a manager or anything like that, but I am willing to learn because I know it comes with a higher pay. So it's like once you get into the door at 50, maybe 60, or even 70 or 80K entry level, you only can go up from there. You only can go up. So it's also something that I feel like it's for my family too,
Yes, absolutely. I like how you mentioned your willingness to learn. I've been talking about that as well. When you don't have experience and you're looking to level up, your passion and how you express that and your willingness to learn different things definitely attracts a company and will help you to level up in different positions as well. So that's great that you're within a field where if you have that passion and desire to keep learning and keep growing, you have room for growth. Yes. So can you tell us what are some skills and some knowledge that someone that someone needs to know before they actually land in a job in tech sales? What kind of skills, knowledge do they need to know?
So prior to course careers, I only knew the basic medical billing side of things and soft skills like the verbal communication, leadership and things of that nature. But course careers taught me the entry level expectations. So I was able to put that on my resume. So the prospecting, the ideal or finding the ideal buyer persona, the sales skills that I needed for the entry level role. So you will need some type of, program or course or some type of background knowledge to do the job, because they're not going to consider you as, an ideal candidate if you don't showcase that skill. So course careers was the only thing that I basically used to get into the door or make that transition a more smoother transition. So both, it's like 50-50, the soft skills, the basics, 9-to-5 regular job, skills. And then also, again, that sales skills, like you just got to kind of mesh them together to make you look more ideal.
Yeah, I love that Course Careers gives you a head start.
Oh yeah.
Because some people just don't, maybe they don't have the skills, the work experience, and they want to achieve these high paying, they want to get there to the high paying jobs, but they feel a little small where they are. They don't know, they don't have any, personal understanding of the tech world, how to navigate. They don't know anyone. So Course Careers pretty much provides you with that training and also puts you next to people that have connections like coaches, recruiters. I even mentioned to my audience that there are also companies that actually look towards Course Careers to hire new people to add to their team. So it's really cool how you were able to use that and it benefit your career.
Yes, they do have partner companies and it's growing by the week. I promise. Every time I go in there, I'm like, okay, the list is getting longer. So
I love that.
Yeah, so it's just completing the course and it's self-paced. It's not like timed or anything. Like you can take your time with it. It is a final though. It's just to quiz your knowledge to make sure that you retain the information because you are going to a different type of interview. It's not the same 9 to 5 that you regularly used to. It's more so of a skilled, like what skills do you have to bring or how coachable are you for us to train you on the services or products that we sell here so we can make money, but then you can make money because they're paying you quite a lot. So it's just like they're trying to make sure that you're successful. So Course Careers just set you up for you to have like the best transition. And it's really hands-on too. They have like a cool AI chat bot where you can like cold call practice. And it's just like you can learn how to do everything before you get to the job, So it's definitely worth it. Like I stand behind it 100%.
That's awesome. So, okay, so how did you go about learning tech skills to be able to land your job? You mentioned Course Careers.
Yeah, Course Careers. It took me about 2 weeks to finish the course because I was really like pushing myself to like, hey, new year, new job, new me, So I was like, I need to get through this course. So I, sacrificed a lot of long nights because I had to put the kids to bed. And I was like, okay, it's 10:30. I need to stay up till I'm done, a certain amount or a certain percent of the course. So it took me about 2 weeks to do the course. It took me about, a day or two to do the final because I wanted to study before I do the final. And then 30 days later, I was in a whole new role.
I love that.
Like I was just like, what is this?
30 days later, like how exciting! That is amazing. Yeah. Like the fact that you did that because a lot of people, I mean, with the course, it's self-paced. So some people like you finish in 2 weeks. Some people take a little bit longer because of commitments and so forth. But it's just amazing that you got through it so fast. So I commend you. And then the fact that you landed a job within only 30 days. You didn't start off with a degree or any knowledge, nothing connecting you to the tech world per se, besides Course Careers, of course, and your determination.
Yes. So the entry levels, it's literally skills. Like it's no degree required. Like I'll just say that out there. So if you're out there and you're like, well, I don't have any college degree or I have an associate but not a bachelor's, like it's fine. Like as long as you can showcase your skills and let them know that you can do the job. Once you get the job, then you're pretty much good from there. And again, they'll train you. So I know a lot of people always get scared about being trained, but they do have extensive training to where they give you all the resources to be successful once they put you out there. Like when you start making calls and, prospecting and, talking to future customers, they want to make sure that you're, showcasing the company in a higher, like a higher form to where it's like, okay, she's knowledgeable or he's knowledgeable of what we're doing. Because again, they're paying you a lot of money. You can make bonus money if you hit your goals. Like if you're really goal oriented, like if you like setting challenges for yourself, they have where, they can say, hey, Ashley, you have to do 5 meetings this month. And I'm like, okay, 5 meetings. You can set 5 meetings and get an extra $2,000 on top of your 2 salary checks. Yeah. So it's like, you have the options to make anywhere between like $5,000 to like $9,000 just by showing up to work and hitting those goals.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I could imagine you like creating a game behind it. Like, okay, how do I do this? How do I hit this goal?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so it's great for someone who's like goal oriented and someone who wants to see results. You
Yeah.
know, it sounds like someone who's also very good at communication and connecting with customers and so
Mhm.
forth. So I'm excited for you. That's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so that kind of leads us into the next question. What would make someone a good fit for tech sales? What do you think?
Um, being coachable, having a self growth mindset. They love people who want to learn. So if you're somebody who have a hard time just retaining information, or you don't want to talk on the phone, like you're like, hey, I don't want a customer service type role, which is
Mm-hmm.
not a customer service, but you're on the phone. So if you're someone who don't want to talk on the phones at all, then this is not for you, because 90% of your day will be, calling prospects to, again, try to set meetings. So you have to not be scared of phones. You have to be goal oriented, because that motivates you. That extra money, that bonus, it gets you like wanting to go to work. Like
Mm-hmm.
I used to not want to go to work. Now I want to go to work. Like I have goals to hit. Like
Who do I get to call today?
like it's like, okay, I need to clock in because I want that extra bonus money. It's called OTE. So it's definitely something that you have to switch your mindset to and say, hey, this is real. Like I'm able to get that car or buy that house or take that trip, or basically do whatever that you always wanted to do. Like you're able to do that in this type of industry
Mm-hmm.
because they do pay you so much for entry level. And it's like, imagine having 2 or 3 or 4 years experience.
Yeah,
Like you're
absolutely.
making over 6 figures for sure.
Yeah, and then Course Careers gives you the training,
Mm-hmm.
so you're kind of overqualified in a sense for some of these entry level jobs against all of the other people that are probably applying to these jobs and have absolutely no experience, no background or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because you actually have, I guess you would say, an internship under your belt, and
Right.
you have the skills too, the skills that communicate to the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I that's awesome. I love it. Yeah. So okay. So what do you find the students that you're coaching? What do they struggle with the most when they try to learn a job within the tech sales industry?
I think it's more just the interview process because it is different.
Mhm.
It's not set up like the normal 9 to 5. It's more, sales background, and there are multiple rounds of interviews. I think the most I've ever went through was like maybe 3 or 4, and I think the reason why is because they are investing this money into you. So they're like, hey, if we're going to pay you all this money, we need to know if you're going to actually do the job or not.
Okay.
So I was kind of like down about it. I'm like, oh, another round. But then I was like, oh, I get to meet the CEO. I get to meet the VP. Like you're meeting all these higher level decision makers where you're actually connecting and getting used to being in rooms with like CEOs on a regular basis at this point. So
Yeah.
it just helps you with your presentation. It helps with your professionalism. And again, it's just leveling up, really. I mean, at a regular 9 to 5, you're not going to never meet the CEO of that company ever. Like you're going to meet the manager and that's it.
The hiring manager, the recruiter. Can you talk about, because when we first spoke, you said that at one time you were juggling 17 interviews at one time.
Yes.
How crazy, right? And I know a lot of people can relate because they're going through interview after interview, wondering what's going on, dealing with rejection. Oh, I thought I did well. I thought we connected, and now nothing at all. So what was that like for you? I would love to know more about that.
Yeah, so that was a crazy time. It was more so of understanding how the interviews were operating. I was so used to the regular 9 to 5 where it was like a one and done. But when I realized like, hey, I'm not really meeting the requirements because I'm not saying it, or my resume is not showcasing the certain skills that are needed for the entry level. Even though I had the skills, I just wasn't putting it on paper or verbally expressing it. So once I realized what skill set that they were looking for, I went into that interview and I was listing, I was saying it, I was putting it into action with my daily responsibilities. And they were like, oh, okay, we're looking for someone with that skill.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. and I just kept getting pushed to the second round, to the point where in a week and a half I had 17 round 2 interviews because I was just nailing it. And the recruiters, their job is to push you through if you're an ideal candidate. So I didn't know, I was doing myself a favor, but I was like, okay, this is overwhelming, like.
Right? Like, okay, guys, I know I'm great. But that's amazing. And then the fact that you also mentioned that you received multiple offers.
Yes.
You didn't just go through all these interviews and get absolutely nothing, but people actually reached back out to you with offers to work for their companies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy because I never had that opportunity to be picky. I was like, okay, what do I want? What job falls under my criteria? I need that work-life balance. I need that unlimited PTO. I need that flexibility. So I was like, what company is going to allow me to have that lifestyle? And so that's when I was like, okay, this company. And then I end up getting a job in ed tech, which I've never had any education background in teaching.
Oh, educational technology.
Educational tech. And I was like, I'm a parent. I can talk to principals and superintendents and teachers and literacy coaches. And, I can talk to these people because my son is in school. So I was like, I'm going to go with that. But I did have other opportunities in software development and healthcare because I came from healthcare. So I kind of wanted to kind of stick with the industry that I knew. But that company at that time didn't really give me or check all my boxes. So I was like, okay, ed tech, I'm just going to go with it. And it's going to be 2 years coming up. So I was like,
nice.
This is a good fit, right?
Yes, I love that for you. I love that you had the chance, like you said, to be picky, to pick, choose, refuse, because now, the power is in your hands.
Yes.
And I also love the fact that you mentioned that there are different tech companies. It's not just tech, it's not just like some, software, IT, but there are also education technology companies, and technology pretty much spreads throughout.
Yeah.
So can you just give us just a brief overview of like all of the different arenas that people can get into tech that don't exactly have to do with, like you said, AI and, maybe places that they're not really interested in?
So some industries are like logistics. So if you're a truck driver, you can easily get into logistics because it deals with trucking. Like the trucking software that they put in the cars to keep track of like your mileage and the videos and things like that. You can do financial tech if you coming from banking. If you were a bank teller, financial tech is great because it deals with accounting and financing. Healthcare is healthcare, obviously. What else is there? IT. So if you're someone who works with like IT customer service or just customer service in general, IT is a good fit. Cybersecurity is a passion. Like cybersecurity, you have to kind of want to learn everything because it's a little bit more difficult because it could be a government type of situation where you're calling government contracts or you're trying to get government contracts. So you might have to put in a little bit more work with cybersecurity. They have software development. Some companies it's like Intuit, like the TurboTax. There's companies like, almost every like education for a school, like ABC Mouse, that's EdTech.
There you go.
That's EdTech. There's a lot, Salesforce, HubSpot, those are CRMs, but they're also hiring. You got Yelp. Yelp is also an SDR, BDR. They have opportunities. So, it's literally, it's anybody can transition into it.
Right,
honestly, it's not just sales or tech background. It's like if you do the course and you learn the basic skills, you can easily transition into that job. And if you have a marketing degree or any type of marketing background, Yelp will take you like that because they're already an advertising and marketing company, and they feel like you align with the company better, I guess, or ideally. So they'll take you like that.
Okay, so are you saying that it's a little easier for people to get into a Yelp tech position? Yep.
So what I'm saying is, if you have marketing, you're like, well, that's not my sales. It's not my, my ideal space. But I want to make this much money. But it's like you have a marketing degree. Yelp is a marketing company, and you're going for sales. All you do is take course careers, learn the sales, take that marketing. They're going to take you over someone else who doesn't because you have knowledge in marketing.
So cheap there, guys. If you have a marketing degree and you go through tech course careers, That right there will pretty much line you right up for a young.
Yes.
And this is coming from someone who's in the tech field right now and understands the market as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So what is the biggest advice, piece of advice that you can give people to stand out in today's job market? I'm just going to go ahead and turn on my light.
Yeah. Basically just being confident. You know, in the tech sales industry, if you're trying to transition, they love people that are confident. So if you're confident and you're like, hey, this is what I bring to the table, this is what you can expect from me, just give me that chance to showcase that, they will give you that chance. But if you go in these interviews talking to these CEOs and VP of sales, and you're questioning your own skill set, they're going to be like,
yeah,
no. Like we want someone who knows what they want and what they want to do here, because they're going to grow, and they're going to pay you to learn how to grow. So a lot of people, they do the tech sales and then they open up their own businesses, because you learn about business in tech sales because you're helping businesses create revenue. So if you're somebody like, hey, I'm going to open up a food truck. Well, guess what? If you work in the restaurant industry, you can learn the ins and out of restaurants and businesses, what's needed with software, what integrations, like how do I get new people? How do I market? All in tech sales.
Yeah.
Because you're calling businesses and you're asking qualifying questions like, hey, how is sales doing? Like, what do you feel that you need to do to boost your revenue by 25%? And they're like, oh, I think coupons or maybe a college day. But then you're like, okay, I'm gonna take note of that, because I want to open up a food truck or a family-owned restaurant, So it's like you really learn a lot. A lot.
Yeah. Okay. So if people don't exactly want to do the more traditional 9-to-5 job, you can still take course careers to fund your own business if you choose to have, start your own business. Yeah.
That would be the ideal thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that idea. That didn't even come to mind, but it's true, because you're speaking to business owners. You're kind of navigating how they can attract new clients. So you can take that same, energy and expertise and pour it into your own
business. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so if someone wants your one-on-one coaching, because you provide so many different services, actually, I have your info right here. So if someone wants to book your one-on-one coaching services throughout their journey, learning tech sales, and then going through their job search, can you share how they would go about getting to book you and have access to your resources?
Yeah. So in the link that she provided below, it's going to take you to a screen. And if you want to look into course careers, there's a little button that says, entry level starting at 50K, with no degree. You just hit that button and it's going to take you straight to course careers. And again, do your research. I know that you guys are listening to my testimonial, but again, always make sure that this is a good fit for you, because it is an investment. So if you want to check out course careers, click that link in the website. But if you want to book a one-on-one call with me where you're like, okay, I need a little bit more information, I need to dig a little bit deeper, can you show me some opportunities that's out there before I book, before I do the course, I can definitely do that with you too. I help about 80 clients. So I do tech talks every other Tuesday. So it's like 30 people on the calls. And then I have my clients. So I'm working with like 80 clients a month. So I'm helping them transition into new jobs. I'm helping them on the job. I'm helping them get that extra bonus money. Because who doesn't want that?
Right? Especially around this time, right?
So yeah, it's just I'm helping step by step, because I know a lot of people, they need that accountability. They need somebody to be on them, and I'm on you. So if I'm saying, hey, what % of the course are you on? 50. Okay, next week I'm gonna be like, hey, where you're at.
Yeah.
How close are we to the final? I do provide a study guide. It's 18 pages and it's everything that you need to know about the final, and you're going to pass. So it's like, once you get past that final, what's the next steps? Interview prep. After interview prep, you're going to get a job. hands down.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, some people do need that extra push and like you mentioned, accountability,
Yeah.
because they could finish the course and then be kind of in a lost space, like, okay, what do I do now? How do I reach out to these companies? How do I actually use what I learned in action? It's one thing to learn something,
Yeah.
but it's another thing to actually walk it out with actionable steps. So you actually help people and come alongside them to make sure that they're making the right steps towards success, pretty much. Yeah. So guys, please hit up her store. She's got so many different resources. She's great because she's geared towards tech. You know, so if you guys are interested in getting into tech, and getting into an entry-level position, building up your career from not having any experience, not having a college degree, and you want to get into that arena, you want to couple up with someone who actually went through it, she is your girl. All right, she is amazing. She's a coach, and she will help you to get through from your course all the way up to, I guess, your employment letter, right?
Yeah. So I hope I give you interview questions that I know that they're going to ask. And then I hope you prep for that. I hope do mock role plays. So cold calling is part of the interview process. So if you're someone who's like, I've never cold called or I never got on the phone with anyone, I help go through that process with you because I know what they're looking for. So it's like having a person hold your hand until you get in front of them. And then it's like, okay, the floor is yours, but you're already prepared because I'm giving you all the resources for you to be successful. So, I mean, you get the SDR playbook. The SDR playbook helps you find your top 10 companies, how to network. I give you templates on how to reach out to a manager because you want to showcase your skill set in cold emailing. So I help you with the templates. I help you with reaching out to recruiters, CEOs. Like, I give you a lot of resources, and it's literally all of my notes just put in like pretty PDFs so I can give to you guys.
Who doesn't love a pretty PDF? I love that.
I know.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, so do you guys have questions? I know that you've been lighting up the chat. Let's give some time to ask questions. Okay, so this one stands out. It's not exactly a question, but they mentioned that they're in help desk / IT support, and they're really struggling to find work. What would you, I guess, recommend to someone like that?
So they're in IT support?
IT help desk support. They're a IT support specialist / help desk specialist. So that sounds like it's within the IT space, but they're struggling to find, I guess, work, places of employment that will actually give them a chance.
Yeah, I'm coming from Course Careers in the tech space, so I highly suggest checking out Course Careers. They do have an IT course as well. So if you're looking to use or utilize your experience and skill set, but just get paid in a higher salary, obviously opportunity, I would definitely check out Course Careers because I'm not going to say you may not know enough, but you need to narrow down like a skill set. So that way, when you go into these companies and ask for $70K, they're going to give it to you because you meet a criteria. That's why tech sales is so different because it's narrowed down to tech sales industry, but it's an umbrella of so many other opportunities. So I would definitely suggest utilizing your experience. And if you have experience in IT and then you go for an IT position, you may actually get paid more because you've already done the job. You just have a different job title. So sometimes your day-to-day aligns with the role, but you just have to tell them that, like, hey, I've been doing this for 3 years. They're like, oh, well, okay. Like we got to up the pay, so it happens. And then always negotiate your salary. Always. Always. So always negotiate your salary. I have a template for that and a script for that because you never want to take that first number because there's always wiggle room. So the recruiter's not going to tell you that, but you can ask and say, hey, is this salary negotiable? They're going to say, well, what are you asking for? Well, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
Especially according to your state and what's best for your, like, how much experience you have. I forgot the market rate, basically, depending on your market rate, where you are located, and so forth. Yeah.
Yep. You can go on Glassdoor and always do a salary check to see like experience, location, and then obviously your skill set. So if you're coming in there with no skills, obviously you cannot negotiate because it's like, what do you have to give? But if I'm coming from an IT space and I'm going for, you know, a higher salary, just a different role, but I need to just align them to let them know like, hey, I've been doing this, I'm going to negotiate. So for me with Course Careers, I was like, hey, I have experience because it's a hands-on professional development course that I call it. But I do have the knowledge for entry level. So I'm not taking anything less than 50. Now, if they try to say, oh, well, you know, it's non-negotiable, then this is not the right company for me.
Right. And there's so many opportunities. I mean, I find them by business development reps, SDRs, and it's exploding. It's an exploding industry.
It's a lot. It's about 5,000-6,000 opportunities out here for BDR and SDR combined, and we're talking entry level only. We're not even talking about, you know, 2 or 3 years. We're talking about entry level because these starter companies need to make money now. So who's going to help them generate that money? Us. We are. You know, we're the ones who's calling to say, hey, look what we have. We have a solution to your problem. Are you interested? Like that's what we do. So the companies are looking for us. We just have to make ourselves visible. That's it.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, let's see what other question we have. So how do they get a resume review? Is there an email? Okay, we mentioned the link. So if you want your resume, if you want help with your resume, you can go ahead and check out her link. Let's see. Tech is the new black. That is someone. I watch him too. Me and my husband. He's good, right? Okay, can customer success manager transition to tech sales?
That's a good question because I get a lot of people that ask me that. It's a little different. So the customer success is different than tech sales because sales is like, even though we're not technically selling anything, we're just calling. Customer success is more relationship building. So you may have to tailor your resume towards working well with prospects or relationship or connecting well, or, you know, you probably email or do those calls. So you just have to tailor your resume. But yes, you can transition.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Transferable skills. We've been harping on that. Yeah, exactly. Like it is possible.
It is.
Don't count yourself out. You have more than likely you have skills in the past that can connect you with another opportunity. But thankfully with Course Careers, you don't exactly need that background. But if you have it, I mean, that makes it look even better. Okay, let's ask another question. Any other way to earn certification without having to pay?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I mean,
I don't think there's anything worth value if you're not paying. Exactly. You're not investing into the certification.
Yeah. Because, what do you think? I mean, I get it because it's like it is like an investment. But it's more so of having a professional education background in the tech sales industry. So you don't want to say, oh, I'm self-taught. And it's like, well, we don't know what you taught yourself. It could be the wrong way. But again, Course Careers have partner companies. So they're contracted to hire graduates. So it's like you don't have to elaborate too much. So sometimes taking that leap, because again, I had to pray on it as well. Taking that risk and that leap of faith will put you in a room where you never knew that you can enter. So you just have to kind of sacrifice, or you can do like maybe like a payment plan. I don't know if they have the payment plan, but you can always check it out to see. Or you can use those third parties, you know, apps like Klarna or Affirm or Afterpay. You can use one of those, so that way you can be on a, you know, weekly or bi-weekly pay scale and still get the opportunity to, you know, take the course.
Yes, they do offer payment plans where you can pay in chunks every few, you know, every few weeks or so. So it is manageable. Yeah, but it's so worth it. I mean, and you also get a sense of gratitude and excitement when you actually invest your money into something instead of just taking something for free and not exactly knowing if it's, first of all, if it will be seen as anything worthwhile to any company, you know, or there's just a certain level of respect you give things when you pay versus when you don't, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so one more question. We don't want to hold you up too long. Okay, so, okay. Oh, they mentioned the crackling noise. But I think
I heard that too.
Oh, so sorry about that. I hope that's not me. Okay, another question. Last question, is Course Careers accredited? And we did kind of mention, and another thing, a paid monthly. So is it accredited? So Course Careers is accredited. Basically, like you mentioned, they have companies that come alongside Course Careers to hire new hires. So they do see the Course Careers course as very valuable. And the fact that it's kind of like an online internship, I guess you can say,
Right.
because you get hands-on experience. So if you have that hands-on experience and you're actually applying for entry-level positions, I mean, I believe it works either way for you because you're more prepared for the position. Yeah, but what do you? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it holds enough weight to get you these offers from the jobs, you know? So I feel like for me going through the whole course and doing the interviews and speaking on it, I mean, I landed a job, you know, and I have multiple offers, so I know you can do the same. But if you go into it with the negative mindset that you can't do it, then you're going to bring that energy into your space. So you have to think about it like, okay, I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put all into it because I want to change my lifestyle or, you know, have a higher salary. But when you bring that positive energy, you're going to see that it's going to work out. You just have to have the right people around you. You have to be able to, you know, put your not energy, but put time into the self-paced course. Because the self-paced course, it is not time. So you have 6 months, a year, like it's really up to you. But if you're going to want to take your time doing it, then it's going to be like, you know, forever to transition. But you want to do it as soon as possible because there are slow periods. So in the summertime, it's really slow. So if you're like, oh, I will wait till next summer, I would rather take it in the winter. So when January comes around, you're like, new job, new year, you know, you're ready.
Yeah.
So I would definitely start now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. I know I hear your little one, so I don't want to hold you too long. But thank you so much for joining us. I love your little your sign behind you.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yes, I love that.
It's so me. I love coffee. Like that's how I start my day. But then it was like hustle, strong. Like I love my lashes.
Long lashes.
My lashes. Okay.
You
and
are
then I got the hustle mentality. So I was like, this is me. Like this
yes,
is
absolutely. Like it's your aesthetic. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your world with us and just giving us encouragement. So many people mention how this is so encouraging, like inspiring to them. So I'm so excited. And guys, please go ahead and check out her store. The store will actually lead you to a bunch of different things that she's got going on. So take advantage of Ashley Savvy. She's actually in tech. So it's great to couple up with a coach that's already in that industry that you're looking to break into without any experience at all. So go ahead, check her out. She's amazing. She understands the struggle and she's here to help you through, kind of like a fitness trainer. You know, she's helping you. She's going, you know, she's keeping you accountable, making sure that you hit your targets and you're actually getting through to companies, just like you did. You know?
Yes. So if you need me, and then I also do the free tech sales group. So if you want to just pop in, it's also in the link, and you just want to kind of like hear everyone else's stories. I do bring on speakers that I've helped get jobs. So I like to bring them back on the tech sales, you know, group so they can share like the interview process, what they went through, how are they feeling during the process, how long did it take them. So you can just be like a fly on the wall. If you don't want to join right away, just, you know, I'm having the next one will be next Tuesday. Just pop in and just be on, you know, just sit there, take notes, ask questions if you want. I give you guys the floor to where if you have questions, we talk about the final jobs, just about everything. So if you just want to pop in, just sign up. It's free every other Tuesday. So just join me next Tuesday.
Just join, guys. Join for free. I mean, just dip your toe in, see what it's like, and get started. So thank you so much, Ashley. It's been such a joy having you. Thank you for being here and sharing all the value that you did. We appreciate you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and hopefully I can connect with you guys soon.
Yes, absolutely. Well, have a good night.
You too.
I hope that the rest of your night goes really well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
All right, talk to you soon. All right, guys. So look at us. We are getting through these interviews. Interview and the speaking through Ashley Watkins Thomas. That was amazing, right? I'm so excited to have them on this platform, to meet them and actually bring them on so that they can share the wealth of knowledge that they have. Two coaches, all right, mentors. Ashley Watkins is a recruiter. Ashley Savvy is an entrepreneur who can get you into the tech space. So we've got a lot going on here, and I hope that you guys are really enjoying the value and that you take advantage of it as well. So anyway, we're gonna end the night off on a nice high note. Play some games, all right? Let's wake up a little bit. Wake up. All right, anyways, when it gets late, I get crazy. So we're going to play another game. You guys have seen this game. We played it. It was so much fun. Just a recap of everything that we've learned so far. And it's called Job Search Trivia. Let's put on a little music. All right, Job Search Trivia. Are you guys ready for another game? There are no prizes, but we're all winners here. Just after this game, I will officially let you guys get your free grab bags. I will be publishing it on the website, so stay tuned. All right, this game will be really quick, really fun. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Thank you guys so much. All right, Job Search Trivia. It's really easy to do this game. You're basically going to play 3 different ways. There are 3 different questions that I'll be asking you. An answer the question, multiple choice question, or true or false question. And it's pretty simple and easy. So let's just get into it, right? All right, first trivia question. Number 1, you should always include references on your resume. Is that true or false? Sound off in the comment section. I'll give you guys some time. Thank you so much. I'm actually half sleepy, but my energy, just being here is exciting, all right? So it's kind of giving me that jolt that I need. Yes, you guys are answering right now. False. Someone said true. So let's clear that up. All right. So there's a mixture here, true or false. Oh, let me go ahead and... All right, there's a mixture between true or false. We'll clear that up. So the answer is false. You don't need to list references on your resume at all. That is absolutely, you really don't have to do that. References don't need to be on the resume. I actually saw a resume just recently where the person listed out the names of their references and their phone numbers. And that definitely is something you should avoid. You don't want to unnecessarily expose your references to people that, you haven't even received the job offer yet. So once you receive that offer, they will go ahead and ask you for references. You don't even need to put that on your resume as, some people put references available upon request. That's not needed at all because it's pretty, it is, everyone knows that basically after you receive the employment letter, that references will be requested. So it's definitely not necessary at all to put references. keep the resume for what you need it for, because that's precious real estate. You need to pack out your resume with information that markets you in front of these companies, and you don't want to waste any time talking about other things that are not needed. Okay? All right, next one. Yeah, so second one. What is the average time a recruiter spends reviewing a resume? Is it A, 30 seconds, B, 6 seconds, C, 2 minutes, or D, 1 minute? Let us know in the chat. I still have my coffee. Not coffee, tea. I think it's still hot. It's not hot, it's warm. Okay, so we're seeing B, we're seeing A, we're seeing B. This one is a little tricky, I guess. You're welcome, Dania. Yes, you don't have to put that. You don't have to put references available. And some people said A. So the answer here is B, 6 seconds. On average, I found this publication online through the Harvard Business publication that the average recruiter is actually spending just 6 seconds. Tongue twisted. They are spending 6 seconds looking at these resumes. They're not exactly taking a long time, and that's exactly why it's so important to make sure that your resume is truly reflecting who you want to embody before the company, especially in the very top of your document, the professional summary, the skills. That is where you can pack in your skills, your qualifications, market yourself, show your value, how you can help the company save money, like we also heard from Ashley Watkins Thomas, how you can help the company save time, improve their processes, give some background and also some accomplishment statements of what you've done in the past, talk about your skills, not listing any soft skills like team player. Those are not things that you want to put into the top portion of your resume. You also want to include keywords as well, because the ATS system is parsing for different keywords and stuff. So those are great areas where you can scatter, but not pack it out too much, but also effectively communicate that you are the person for the job. All right, yay. So I know 6 seconds is wild. That's on average. I'm sure, some people might look at resumes a little longer. Okay, next question. So cover letters are optional and rarely read by employers. Is that true or false? Is it true or false? True or false? Yes, so it is false. Cover letters they still matter. I know a lot of the times we see job postings that mention resume is required, and then they put the asterisk in front next to the resume, but then they don't put it by the cover letter, so you don't think it's as important. It's very important. Your cover letter, your entire career story starts with your cover letter. Your cover letter gives you the power to own who you are and tell your story for yourself, and also clears up a lot of questions that they might have, like any career gaps that you might have if you are starting off fresh in a new career, or if you took any time off. You can effectively put that into your cover letter and really own your image that you are presenting before the company. So cover letters are still very much important, and I would say take that extra step and always include the cover letter, even when it's not exactly required, because it helps to show the company that you took that extra step and that you actually care about the job, right? Okay, another one. What is the most common reason job seekers do not get called for an interview? You guys know this, right? You've been hanging around here long enough. Is it A, lack of relevant experience, B, spelling errors on the resume, C, not tailoring the resume to the job, or is it D, poor interview performance? Which one? Let us know. Thank you guys for still being here. I know it's been like over 3 hours, but we are having the best time ever. Okay, so I see a lot of C's, I see B's, A's. I see another A, another C. All right, so the answer is C, not tailoring the resume to the job. There are so many reasons why job seekers don't get called for an interview. Of course, there are so many other factors, even past these few options that I gave you. But one of the most common reasons is your failure to tailor it specifically to the job that you are going for. Speaking the language of the company and of that specific job position that you're looking for. So if you're coming from a place where you did, say, graphic design, you were a graphic design artist and you're going for project management, if your resume is only reflecting your previous job and talking about graphic design and gearing your language toward the graphic design industry and not transferring your skills over, you're not exactly going to be noticed because they're going to look at you like, what is this? You know, you have to give them what they need, what they want. And that comes from looking at the job listing. We always do that here. We look at the job listing, we extract any type of keywords that are necessary for the job, and also look for creative ways to market ourselves to show the importance of the skills that we have to offer. There are other factors like your lack of relevance, relevant experience, spelling errors are also a huge thing as well, and interview performance as well, which is great that we had our guests here, Ashley Watkins Thomas and Ashley Savvy. They are both professionals that will help you with your interview prep as well. So many options here. If you are lost, no worries. We are here to help. I'm hoping that you guys are encouraged in actually knowing that the resources are out here for you. All right. Okay, next question. We're almost done here, guys. Which of the following is not recommended to include on a modern resume? Is it A, your home address, B, LinkedIn profile link, C, a professional summary, or D, quantifiable achievements? Thank you so much. All right, we have some answers already. You guys are so smart. Yes, it is A, your home address. You don't want to, first of all, share that personal information too soon, and also set yourself up for unfair hiring practices because you can easily be judged based on where you live, and you don't want that to be the factor that keeps you from a job. So simply listing your city and state is just fine, maybe even your zip code, but just keeping it at that, all right? And always include your LinkedIn profile link if you do have one, because that's also giving them another, giving hiring managers, recruiters another avenue to learn more about you and your skills. Professional summary, definitely. I mean, a lot of people are going without the summary, but I think that it sets your resume up to tell the effective story that you want it to in a way that's orderly, that trickles down to the results in your work experience and your education. So you need the full story, include the professional summary, and quantifiable achievements. You need those numbers. If you don't know the numbers, the impact that you made, go to ChatGPT like Ashley Watkins mentioned today, and just type in, hey, can you quantify my achievements based on my job title? And then of course, take those numbers and tweak them, of course, according to truth and what you actually produced as well. We don't want to lie on our resume because companies will find out, all right? And you don't want that, bad thought kind of hanging around you that you lied on your resume just to get the job, right? Okay, so next one. What should you do? This is the last one, I believe. What should you do if you don't know the answer to a question during an interview? A, admit you don't know, but express your willingness to learn. B, make an educated guess. C, change the subject to your favorite TV show. Or D, pretend to have technical difficulties and disconnect the call. First of all, what is the answer and what would you do? I'm curious to know. What would you really do? Right. All right. Someone said I'd just wing it. Okay, so the answer here is A. You guys mentioned it. Admit that you don't know, but express your willingness to learn. That helps you save so much embarrassment. Just admitting the truth that you don't know, but you want to learn. You're open-minded. You can go far with the willingness to learn, passion to learn, excitement to learn more and new things, right? Make an educated guess. I did that in the past and it went bad, right? I made an educated guess. I fumbled. I tried to sound like I knew exactly what I was talking about. In reality, I didn't know. And I think the person on the other end couldn't tell, right? Change the subject to your favorite TV show. Before I do that, I would just kind of hang up the phone and block the person and just never talk to them again. Just save yourself the embarrassment. But no, always admit that you don't know, express your willingness to learn, and they can work with that. Companies can work with that over someone who is just blatantly lying, acting like they know and they don't know, and just doesn't have the humility to admit that, right? Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here all the way to the end. I'm so grateful to have you guys. You guys are, each and every one of you are such a valued part of this community. I love having you guys here, commenting back and forth in the chat, in the comment section on YouTube and so forth. So it's always a joy. So excited to have you. We have the best community. We are supportive. You guys are mature. We're always building one another up, and I love that about us here. So thank you so much for being here. Like I mentioned, all right, we have some goodies coming right now, and I'm going to go ahead and make it live for you. Grab bags. All right, so here's what you're going to do, right? First of all, let me publish it. Woo, it's published. All right, so you're just going to visit digitalbossfromhome.com and you will be met with a pop-up. And of course, the website will lead you to where you can go ahead and grab your grab bags. Absolutely free. You don't even have to put in any card information or anything. Just check out for free. Grab the grab bag. We have stuff in there from Ashley Watkins Thomas, a free e-guide, also an interactive self-care workbook. All right. We need to take care of ourselves, myself included. We often are busy people, so totally need to take some time for ourselves. Actually, I want to show you some of that interactive workbook. All right, so the workbook here, let's just start from the beginning. So it's a self-care workbook for women. Men can chime in as well, but the whole entire look is kind of geared towards women. And it's interactive, so you can go ahead and use this on your phone, your iPad. Just go ahead and click off, add some notes here, whatever you're feeling at that time, and really take the time to assess yourself socially, spiritually, physically, mentally. Also, you can put in self-care strategies. You can also put this into practice. I give you a little bit on how you can seek out support journaling prompts as well, so you can go ahead and journal, erase as you feel, like maybe you're changing your mind. It's very interactive. You can go ahead and type right in there and delete as well. More journaling prompts, and also a self-care challenge. I'm going to go ahead and join you guys on the self-care challenge because we all need to take some time for ourselves, challenge ourselves. Sometimes we get so stuck in the rat race, doing, and don't get time to exactly sit down and assess how we're feeling. Are we pouring into ourselves? These are just a few fun things that you can do to get started on a nice routine, self-care routine. And yeah, that's it. All right. Also, within the grab bag, we also have an updated resume template that I created. I have a bunch of resume templates, but this one here is just so that it's easy for you guys, accessible, so you guys can access that. And yeah, I think that's about it. But you guys can go ahead and grab it for yourself. So excited. So the file, what file do we have to upload? It is on the website. Let me see if I can find this for you as well. Okay, so stop sharing that, and let me see if I can share this screen with you. Oh yes, I can. So this screen here is what you will see, and all you have to do is click grab bag. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, come out of that. Grab bag. I have to fix that. But you don't upload any files, of course. You just simply check out. You can go ahead and take a look at what's in the grab bag. Like I mentioned, resume templates. Also a long list of remote job opportunities. I totally forgot to talk about that. But instead of talking about it here and taking up space where I know you guys want to hear the speakers, I went ahead and created a PDF with a bunch of beginner-friendly and also a few mid-level remote companies, remote positions that are hiring. So you can go ahead and check that out for yourself. Yeah, so it should be really easy to download. If you have any problems, go ahead and email me, info@bossfromhome.com, and I'll be more than happy to send the file through email if you are having those problems. Yeah, so the pop-up link. So the pop-up link, you guys can go ahead and bypass that. I do have to fix that. But the main page here shows where you can go ahead, view the details, and then check out. Add to cart. Only one. View the cart. And then from there, you can go ahead and check out, all right? So the website is digitalbossfromhome.com. I will put that in the chat. Digitalbossfromhome.com. And if you want to get rid of the pop-up, just click the X. On your phone, it is a little tricky, but the X is like right up there. Or you can just click off of the screen and it'll come out. All right, you know what? Let me come off here, fix that so that you guys can effectively get that done. Just a few more kinks to roll out, but it's okay. We are going to make it happen. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today, joining us all here. We received so many gems dropped by Ashley Watkins Thomas, Ashley Savvy. They've shared their expertise, their knowledge with us, and I'm so grateful that they took the time to do so. They could have been anywhere else, but they came here, shared what they shared, and it was just amazing to be here in the room. This live will be on replay, so you guys can go ahead and check it out. I will add timestamps. I know you guys have been mentioning that, timestamps, so that you can go ahead and see the sessions and repeat the sessions if you want to, all right? So yeah, stay connected. Make sure that you subscribe to the email list. We have like over 16,000 people on the list. So go ahead, join. You'll get email updates on any other upcoming job fairs, anything else that we're working on at the moment, and so much more, all right? So thank you guys so much. We're gonna just hop off so I can go ahead and fix that little kink on the website. And yes, enjoy the rest of our evening. All right. It's 8:30 here in Texas, and it's probably almost 10 o'clock over there on the East Coast. Thank you guys for taking the time and sacrificing your bedtime with us. I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you. I love you guys. And I will see you in the next video that we'll be posting next week. All right. So stay tuned and we'll talk then. Later, guys.